just trying to get the commentator camera back up. Tells me it's up, but I can't see it. So I've chucked the... And we're back, baby. Hey, Andrew. I hope you can hear me, man. I've chucked the leaderboard in the middle. I've only got one screen up now, which is Richie on the right. He's on cab number 5, just at the bottom on the left. I'm going to try and get... Yeah. Yes. I agree. Let me... Alright, I got that back. Got Richie back. Let me just take autofocus off a couple of these cameras. Okay. Commentator. Property. Deactivate. Activate. Nothing. Yeah, let me get Richie off. Thank you, Andrew. I'm on it, man. I'm going as quick as I can. Autofocus off. Okay. Alright, now let me see why I can't get the commentators back. I'm just going to unplug and unplug that camera.
Good again? Sorry?
Commentator's camera. Yeah.
First thing I'm going to say.
Yeah, man. All right, I'm going to keep trying to get this commentator's camera back. We have definitely... So the direct feed is what crashed the computer a minute ago. So I'm not sure I'll go back to that yet. I might let it cool down. I'm going to turn it off. It's weird why it's the second camera in that port. Yeah.
This camera holds up fine.
Yeah.
It took me a while to realise that button 2 does the shoot up. You shoot up, you drop your arm, and you can also get
It does feel bad, man. I'm just talking to the chat. Alright. Let me just try another camera. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, just go turn it on. I think.
Friends have come and people who are fans of collecting pins for getting my store. I have a sneaky treat for you. We have 8 new wizard pins available. I've got a little list down here. You want to check it out. Take a photo of it if you must. You're looking at Tapper, Hubert, Crazy Taxi, Hustle Bubble, Trident, Indiana Jones, Medieval Madness, and Total Nuclear Annihilation. All 8 of these pins
Right, mates. I don't know why I can't get this camera back. Still got Richie on the bottom here. What's he, 180? Still in full men, so he's flying. Where's he overall? He's already in 8th place, so he's pretty solid for tomorrow. No, I don't reckon Barra will play again. Hey guys.
Still trying to get the direct feed working, mate.
I'm going to drop the feed from here. I just want to get that camera back. Can't even do that.
Was that the same? It's a built-in cord, isn't it?
up, man?
Just beat like previous score.
Nice. Just your name should still be there somewhere.
Do we see you do register and get the pins and stuff? Or is that...
Just get a game in, and then I think Ben's got the pins.
yeah, okay.
Yeah. It's just, yeah.
Get another camera to try.
No.
Got a few technical faults trying to smooth out. Just one of the cameras has just disappeared on us. But anyway, in the meanwhile, I've been watching Richie Knuckles, or Sir Richie, putting a decent score up.
Okay, mates, I'm pretty sure I have got back the bloody commentators come up. You might just have to adjust it and get it back center, mate. It should be good. You back, baby?
So back on, which is good. We don't have the live feed at the moment. The direct feed, sorry. I think we'll probably bring that back on later. It was just starting to interfere a bit anyway. We've got Richie Knuckles' game on here, and I might try and get Andrew Barrow and Michael Kibbe up at some point, which would be good. But I thought I'd go through well, we've got the scores there now up on live, so which is could see where the spread is, but also Estelle Goffin that's put a better score. Estelle.
Phil?
Oh, here, man, how you going? Let's give you some more bench. There we go.
Oh, there we
Nice
go.
game.
Perfect. Hey, pretty good. How you
Yeah,
doing?
yeah, good. So, yeah, I just caught the end of that game. I was, because the camera. I asked your American friend to just look after commentary while I was gone, and him and John Tannehill ruined it for everyone. They just destroyed the mission. Just all crashed. What's going on? Bloody hopeless. Gave them one thing to do, and they couldn't do that right. Anyway, we're back on now, which is good.
Nice.
Now I see you just tipped Andrew Barrow.
Yes, I did.
Oh no! Oh, you did. Hang on.
472.
Yeah, it's just not up there yet, so it must be going in.
He's updating.
Yeah, so I wonder if that means Andrew will have to get back on and play again. I mean, I'm pretty. I don't know. Like it's hard to know where that top 16 is going to be. Like how the bottom scores. Where do you reckon the lowest score will be at the end of the day? By 9 o'clock.
By 9 o'clock, we're looking at probably for top 16, probably 350.
350.
I think we probably need a 350 get in there.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Because who hasn't played yet? That we'll see. We haven't got a Richie Knuckles scoring yet, and he's sitting on 260
Richie can plug it
plus.
Up there.
Yeah.
Sean can push it up there.
Yeah.
Shane. Oh, he's already got
Shane
it. He'll push his up there.
He'll put his up again.
Probably expect to see it 500, 600, 700 out of him at least.
And you'll have another go?
Maybe. I'm comfortable now.
Isn't there
Famous last words.
Isn't there a kill
Comfortable
screen, $250 kill screen?
now. I think so.
That's got to be reason to play again.
I'll probably hit it up. Then donate the money. Buy drinks.
Yeah, that's what Ethan was saying he's going to do. Who's been nicknamed Peter Parker. Sorry.
Yeah, he is Peter Parker. He's Spider-Man.
Well, I suppose
We had
Peter
to climb
Parker,
the fence
Peter
last
Pan.
year.
That's the young hippie's got.
We actually had to climb the fence to get in back in the our townhouse.
Yeah. So, yeah, just look at this 16 list since it's right here in front of us. It's hard to sort of ignore. So yeah, I think it's fair to say that those top scores are there, but it's whether if we get that bottom order pushing up, it looks like it might sort of push someone out. We'll see if it gets competitive at all around the bottom end. So I'm not sure of other players who haven't played yet to put a score up. Like
Quite a few people here left that haven't played.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're still trickling in.
Yeah, because I think Macaulay's going to be here at some point, isn't he?
Yep.
Yeah. But he's not here yet, is he?
No, I haven't seen it.
No. So how many Kong offs is this for you?
This is 2.
Yeah.
I've been at the Kong off 4, and then this is the big one.
This is the big one.
This was a big one for me.
Oh yeah, further, like distance-wise. Yeah.
Love it.
And what about I'm just a bit distracted looking at that game there. What about like talking about what's going on on the leaderboard at the moment? Not here, but back on the Donkey Kong Forum and the Twin Galaxies one with McCurdy. Like he's so close.
McCurdy's got it going on. He's putting some great games in. I was watching him. He's getting back-to-back 1.19s. It is really amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, these top players are just phenomenal.
Yeah.
You just read into it, and the consistency is just insane.
So, but you reckon he's got it? Do you think it's going to?
Absolutely.
You reckon by when? Because he's playing pretty regularly, isn't he?
Yeah. I'll catch his streams every now and then, but yeah, he's pretty regular basis. So I don't see no problem with him. His playing style to take it soon. I mean, it's a great battle between all those top 3, top 4.
Yeah.
I mean, all those guys are just phenomenal. You got
Well,
Robbie, Wes, John, even Dean in there if he wanted to play again. I mean, just phenomenal players.
Well, Ethan was saying that Wes is playing a whole string of sort of Mario-related games at the moment. Once he's got all those out of the way, he's coming back to Donkey Kong.
Yep, that's after his Mario Marathon.
Yeah, so he'll be coming back though with most likely a high score to beat when McCurdy takes. If McCurdy does take Robbie Lakeland, and it's very plausible that he will. You know, like it seems like it's on the
These guys are
cards.
pushing it like 1.27 pace. I mean, it's insane. They're pushing it beyond anything I thought would have been possible.
But from what I've gathered, talking to people, like they're point pressing on the, as we can see, Richie's doing now. Like they are actually actively point pressing on the pies.
Oh yeah.
So there are places still that sort of unexplored, I guess, that people start to find certain behaviours and patterns.
Yeah. Some of the players like at my level, you know, and I'm sort of stuck at that. You know, I just got my 1 million a little while ago. Now I'm pushing to learn 1.1, and you can get a lot of points by strategically taking the hammer on the pie factory.
Yeah.
And the transitions on the barrel boards, you can gain a lot of points there. So, you know, for me, learning, getting up into that 60K level plus, you know, it took me some time, but I'm starting to get there.
It's almost like a game within a game when you get to that level, isn't it? Like
It is.
talking to Alan Stall about, you know, going from kill screen to a 1 million. It's like, okay, it's like...
It gets exponentially hard as you go from, okay, I've learned the game, I've got the kill screen, and now I'm going for 1 million points, okay? And that's pretty tough in itself for like my level playing. But then the jump between getting to 1 million to 1.1 million is just exponentially hard. And then from beyond there, I mean, you're just really leeching every single point possible.
And that's what I've been saying earlier on. It's just I remember when I was first asked about it years ago, when, you know, at the Big Bang, you know, I think I made the remark then that these were sort of finesse games, like particularly Donkey Kong. You know, it's so pixel accurate, like down to, you know, places you can't sit. And all that. So you have to have all that knowledge to actually compete on it.
I mean, you just like the barrel boards, you're looking at the entire barrel board from top to bottom. You know, when it first started, I was sort of concentrating just on my guy.
Just sort of around Mario.
And not seeing what's around me.
Yeah.
And as you get better and better, you start expanding your view. It's like, okay, now I just start steering from the top girder and try to steer these and group them. And then that's key. As you grow, as you learn the game, you start expanding your vision, sort of say.
Yeah, it's interesting that, because if you imagine games like, use our screen here in front of us, so we can sort of say, so this is like in Space Invaders, if we had our laser cannon, we'll use this packet of chewing gum to shoot that. So if it's moving, you know, up and down like this, where's the angle? So it's like this, up and down like that, and we're shooting up here. I'm sure if John Ritchie were here to talk about it, I don't think there's much visual concentration down here. You know, they've gotten so accurate at sort of timing the shot. They'll glance, but it's really sort of this.
You're concentrating on the top half of the screen and sort of using your peripheral vision. Excuse me.
No, you don't.
But you're using that on your actual player.
Yeah. And it's the same with, like, you know, something up with like Gallagher. You're really looking up here. You're not really taking. It's only when certain times you're forced to look down here, and then you really look down there and things, and you sort of glance back. Well, but by and large, it's all up here. You're not looking around. And but as I've gotten to, you know, talking to me about Donkey Kong, knowing that they're controlling the barrels. So here we are on level 9, so where Richie can steer the barrels. So his actions to you know, push the barrels around are affecting all the barrels on the screen above him. You know?
Yep.
So when you're really at the bottom, you're steering, and I suppose when you get to a level like where you're at, you're trying to group them together. You know, so you go, that one's there, and it must be a lot. I mean, there's no way of actually be really consciously keeping track of it, but you are subconsciously keeping track of all these things.
In a way, I'm not at that level quite yet.
But clearly those who
these
are.
guys, those who are like, okay, I can group this, and I see Kong's cycle, his drop cycle, and okay, it drops fast, and then there's a pause, and they sort of calculate that and be like, okay, I can group this on this ladder, pull this barrel down this one, and I can do a triple jump. And that's just like way beyond my play style.
Oh, so there is actually a cycle, like. So what is? Sorry, Tony. What is the cycle? Like what?
I'm not 100% sure what the cycle is. I mean, I could visually see it, like it drops. And I guess change that's something that's more of a Jeremy Young question.
Well, maybe we'll have a look at it. He's kind of Mr. Algorithm, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He is the man.
And on the next Barrel Ball, we'll have a look on Richie's game, and we might see that cycle. You can explain it a bit better. But I find that with a game, say Pac-Man, just sticking to classics against them, if you remove the sound out of Pac-Man, I don't think it's going to affect your game that much. It's a very visual game.
Yes.
Whereas I've been playing a bit of Robotron, and the audio is quite important because there's all these clips. It's such a fast rapid game.
Yeah.
You're looking at your character avatar, whatever, running around, and it's very important to stay close, but you do keep some of the memory of things that you removed, and you're not looking at them, but you sort of remember where they are, but you're measuring in very short seconds because it's so quick, that game.
So fast.
But the sounds also play a big part. There must be some clues. Are there any clues in Donkey Kong regarding audio? Not really. It's just-
Audio's not a big no. I was talking to Ethan, and he could use just sound canceling headphones, and they don't really need the noise. It's just more of a hindrance to them. So it's really not.
So it is primarily really is visual,
Yes.
and muscle memory and stuff. So here we are, let's see what the drop sequence is, or if you were playing now, what are we looking for here?
Like now, that one would go. You would group that one if you're starting to do grouping. You'd group that one. And if it's cycle, like okay, I'm gonna drop, pause, and you got to figure out okay. Here's the pause. I'm going to go ahead and steer it down this ladder here, so it groups up with this one coming into here.
Yeah. So where's
depending on what sequence it is.
So where's the pause from Kong though? Like he just seems to be offloading barrels non-stop, but he actually pauses and does something. So he hits his chest, or it's just a short, really almost undetectable pause.
It's one or the other. He will stop at his chest, or there'll actually just be an actual just pause.
Yeah. And when he does actually, and then does that maintain that rhythm? Like. Is it like he's going to do it again? Will Kong do that again?
I haven't figured that out.
Okay.
It's a good possibility. It's something Jeremy could look into, I'd imagine.
Jeremy, you've got homework to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's interesting with the Donkey Kong forum just how it's just full of stuff, isn't it? Like it's
So much great information, from spring theory on to advanced play. It's a load of information on the Donkey Kong forums.
it's like it is sort of the golf of arcade games, isn't it? It's the baseball, it's the cricket, it's the golf. It's got all these stats, it's got all this kind of over-analysis. And when are we going to see the psychological profile of players? I suppose if we made it to Vegas and we started seeing gambling, I seriously think they would start looking at players.
That's a big part. Psychological is a big part.
Yeah,
it's like me. I'd sit there and I'll play, and I'll lose. It depends. If I lose a man on a stupid mistake I do, I sort of degrade right there. I'm like, it's hard to get back into the game. But if you lose it because hey, I hit the button and it didn't register, it's like okay, I know that wasn't my fault. I want to keep on going. I mean, it's psychological.
Yeah, I could imagine that. It'd be like a horse race. You start with people playing on wet track, like horses that run on wet tracks, longer tracks, shorter tracks, that sort of stuff. You can imagine, there'd be players. Well, okay, looking at the competitors here, like Alan Stall, he's a solid player, but we know that he's not got to 1 million points, but his temperament, he'll admit it, he can get angry. So, depending on he started today really well. Yes, he does. But he started today really well. So when he gets back on, I think that's put him in a psychological mood to probably play again well.
Exactly.
But if that goes bad, not to jinx him, then tomorrow could be bad.
It could be. It's just downhill from there.
Yeah.
It's hard to recover from that.
The interesting thing though, like when we look at the Paul Lenitsky, when he was on, we were talking about previous Kong-Off winners. There's been only 4: Shane Saul, Jeff Wilms, and Hank Chan, and of course Robert Lake. That's it, because it's a 2-2-2 in the 1. So when you look at that, it's and then when you look at the runners up of those, they're the same names again as well. That are running up. And you look at Dean Sagler's never before, maybe he had, but early on he wasn't performing that well in the Kong-Off. I don't know, he maybe it was later. But so there is that live aspect of it that comes into play. But it doesn't, like Jeff Wilms is clearly very good at it. He's probably the best competitor. He's got 2 wins and he's got a few runners up. I think a couple runners up. So yeah, if he enters one, you'd say, well, if he was here today.
A lot of these guys, a lot of the top players play like, their normal play is like 1.1 minimum pace. And it's just amazing to watch them play. It really is.
And then that's the thing is, you're looking at players that, the amount of players who don't credit themselves for how good they actually are. Even when it like scores of 100,000+, like anyone who's had a go, that's a good score. That's nothing to sort of be disappointed about. Like it's a long way from the top scores, but in the you know, if we had if we were tracking all the scores of personal best, you'd be you know, if you built a pyramid and put it outside, you'd still find yourself up in that top spot. All these basic people who can't get more than 20,000 points. You know, so it's an incredibly it's really over investigated game now, isn't it? But
It's been analyzed up and down. It's phenomenal though. I mean, it's just one of these games that sort of formed and brought this community together. To be honest, in my opinion, Donkey Kong is the base of the community. You know?
But it's a sorry, you go. Oh, sorry, no. I was going to say, and it's funny that that's the game, like because of the Kong off film. You know, kickstarted a lot of that, and if you look at the Twin Galaxies, you know, leaderboard through the 80s, a whole bunch of scores. The 90s is next to nothing except for Defender. So clearly people were playing Defender, and then Donkey Kong World Records taken, the public draws attention. Steve Weaver gets knowledge, he goes after it, you know, and then of course Kong comes out, that sort of stuff. But the game, it's not really an entry-level game.
It's rough.
And it's the entry-level game for so many people.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they go, this, like Alan Stall, this is the game I'm going to do. Had he put his time into another game, you know, he'd certainly have a world record.
I can only imagine.
All of them, but, you know.
Phenomenal. As much time as he put in Donkey Kong, he'd be world record holder just about on anything.
Yeah, like it's not, and that's not to say it's not to say that it's the
The
hardest.
score's updated here, but it's not updated there. I don't want to touch anything.
Oh, okay. No,
Nothing's updated. That's not
My God, I'm
updated.
missing that.
oh, okay. We're just getting some, you know, report back in that our leaderboard on the screen here is not updated. We'll get Jimmy Nails onto it soon. Anyway,
I
we'll.
didn't take it to the bathroom with me. Excuse me. I'll have to get another one.
So we'll have to get the leaderboard updated soon enough.
I was sitting on this machine here.
What's it? What's it looking
There's
for?
nothing on the other side. Oh, beer.
I think you
It's a
finished
shame.
this.
Probably.
I forgot what I was talking about now.
Up my score. Yeah, baby.
Oh yeah, just going back to the Donkey Kong forum and the amount of investment in Donkey Kong in general. It's I was saying earlier to people, like the amount of competition in the leaderboard. You know, there's sort of like you must have your own. I don't want to say grudge, but sort of healthy competition against other players. There must be people who sit around.
And
you
it's sort of broke into those groups. You got the 1.2, the world record people heading towards that, and you got the 1.1 group. You know, I'm trying to eventually, hopefully, one day get into that group. And there's a healthy competition, and your basic 1 million scores. You know, everybody's-
And I imagine while those players are still active, like obviously is the top 10. So if someone were to push their way into the top 10, then someone's pushed out. So that person goes, I don't like being out of the top 10. I've got to come back in again. So it's just a real squeeze, isn't it, Donkey Kong?
Yes, it is. And you know, you got Thomas, who's already in the top 10.
Who's that?
Who's Thomas King 666
Oh, yeah,
on
yeah.
Twitch.
Yeah.
I mean, he's streaming all the time. He's playing all the time. I mean, he's getting 1.1. What is it? 1.13 now.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, amazing scores. He's putting in the time and just knocking him out. So he's still, even though he's in the top 10, he's still trying to improve that score.
Yeah, and I think, and I would have thought back at the first Kong off when Hank Chan was pushing towards 1.1 million and stuff like that back in 2011, that was kind of, even he thought 1.1 might be the wall, and now they've pushed through that, and now, like we're saying, they're sort of turning attention to point pressing on the prize, like how many places could points be discovered through different games? Like some games are clearly. Asteroids is an obvious example. Like, there's nothing new to discover in Asteroids. Like, that's the game. There's no hidden thing to be found. Whereas here, that it seems that there might be places people still haven't looked, just because it's better not to look.
I'm not that knowledgeable on it to even fathom where else to look for points, man. It's just.
But I think I was saying to someone before, like it is accurate that from what I've been talking to people, like Wes Copeland was the last world record that didn't really point press on the Pie Factory, but now McCurdy and Leighton have been. So there are points to be found there, and Whereas for so long it was neglected with the Weeby freebie, so people are coming in to find points. So how many points? You know, it's hard to know how many points could be gathered on it.
It's all risk reward, you know. Hey, I need to grab the hammer and hope it starts pushing out pies on you, and you don't grab it and you just stale it. You don't have no pies for that. I mean, it's just.
Well, if we had a time machine and you sort of went back to a certain place, said, hey, look, and you took a game by, say, McCurdy or Lakeman or West Coast or something, and said, hey, look at this game, and someone would say, that can't be real. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, when you see how they move around the barrels, it just seems. You can imagine maybe in the future we'll see certain behaviour in the pie factory like that. Like people start jumping at pies. I don't know. I'm just curious. I don't play the game.
I see that quite often. They'll sit there and sort of jump and leech a pie as they're waiting for the ladder to go back up or whatever. You know, just a few hundred points here and there, and it really adds up. We're at.
I'm not sure. You want me to sign that? You don't want me to sign that. Really?
It's not about the players, it's about everybody that's here.
I'll sign
man.
on the back.
No, it's about everybody. It's all about everybody. Oh, that thing will be covered until I'm done.
Mustache boy.
My favorite one's the one I got in Kong off 3 and it's completely covered in silver ink.
No,
We got like Joel to sign it. Kid with the ponytail, I can't remember his name. That used to be Salter's buddy. I got Sam to sign it. Yeah. Everybody that was in the event, just sign it.
Just going to try and find out who's playing on the cab we're looking at there. Who's just playing over here? What's his name? It's not Roland. Sean Ruland. I think so. I'm sure it's Sean Ruland. Sean Ruland, isn't it? Behind you, Sean Ruland. Oh, Jimmy. It's Sean Ruland. Yeah, his name's not up here, that's all. Sean Ruland is playing on the game we're watching. No, you're sorry, yeah, go get a drink. Sorry, yeah. And that was Estelle, a very solid player from the US, of course, who's now sitting. Oh, I haven't got this updated yet. I'll have to get that updated as soon as I can get Jimmy's attention. So we're just talking about where we think that those top 16s might fall. If those listening in, anyone got a prediction for what the bottom 16 score might be by the end of the day? I'd be curious to see what you think. Last year's top 8 scores, the bottom score at the top 8 was 400,000. So I mean, it'd be fair to guess that we'll probably see a repeat of that again. The bottom 8 score will be 400,000, but what the bottom 16 will be. How much beer is left? Yeah, good point. There's a bit of drinking going on. I'll just see if I can get Jimmy's attention for this to get it fixed up. Just 1 second. Hey, Jimmy, sorry. I'll just get you to update the board if you can.
Yeah, they're free, man. Yeah.
And when I get a chance, I might try and grab Andrew Barrow in here for a chat, and Michael Kibbe, whoever comes by first, which would be good. So here we're on the rivet stage again, an attempt at the star strategy, which I find quite intriguing. I'm still trying to understand that flicking back and forth movement, because you can't really steer these Firefoxes, but you can somewhat influence their movement a little bit. How many people are competing? I heard a number of 30 plus were going to be competing, and not everyone's played yet, so that's cutie. How many actual scores are up there? Like, we can see the ones that are missing that haven't been registered yet from players who we know are here. There'll be still a lot of gameplay left to go. Hey, Johnny! Just going to go on for a bit of a chat. Johnny Bond.
to see you.
Yeah, the sort of honorary Australian, I think, wrestling crocodiles.
Yeah, I'm done doing that. You'd only do that once, I think.
Most people don't do that once.
Nah.
It's kind of like saying you jump out of a parachute once out of a plane without a parachute.
Pretty
You
much,
don't.
yeah.
You only get to do that once, but you managed to do it once and survived.
Yeah, that's.
Hey, show us the scars. You'll like the cameras up here. You'll have to.
Oh, that one? Yeah, it's not too bad. It was missing half his bottom jaw, so it could have been a lot worse.
How did it happen? Would you grab it or something?
Nah, my insurance wouldn't cover me pitting a crocodile, so I just said I slipped down a bank and landed on top of it. But I was actually sitting here, hey mate, I think he was asleep.
You know
He
this
just
is
grabbed
live.
my
You know
arm.
this is live. This
Oh,
could be-
fuck this. Nah, well, fuck it.
It's done now.
Yeah, grabbed my arm, pulled me in, and
You're just telling the story, Johnny, aren't
Yeah.
you? Wink, wink, you know.
now you felt like an idiot for so long and embarrassed like fuck. But now it's a good story. I was afraid I would lose my arm because I couldn't. I didn't have the money for
Yeah.
to cover the whole hospital bill, so I just discharged myself.
What, in Australia though?
Yeah.
Actually,
I was only there for one day, but they
That's
want.
emergency surgery. You're covered anyway.
Nah, my insurance wouldn't cover crocodile bites.
Oh, the insurance wouldn't. But, okay.
So
Yeah.
it was risky for me to keep staying. They wanted me to stay a week before they would stitch me up.
So what was your bill in the end for a crocodile bite?
Oh, 2,600.
Dollars. So it was covered, but not all of it.
No, they didn't cover anything.
No, the insurance didn't. But what I'm saying, like it's a conversation
Oh, yeah.
of medical, like the Medicare system here. Like, had that happened in some countries, you would have had a much bigger bill than
yes.
$2,600.
That's true.
So I'm saying the bulk of it was covered. You're left with
that's true.
the insurance didn't cover the last
I
bit.
took the chance, like lose your arm or pay. By the end of the week, I would have paid at least
Yeah.
10,000 Australian dollars.
Yeah, I think $2,600 might be the price of an ambulance in the US. You know.
Yeah, well, that's insane.
Whereas in your country, it'd be zero. Scandinavian
Exactly
countries.
zero.
Yeah.
You could pet a crocodile, that would be free of charge.
Well, it's quite. I mean, is it true that? And I'm not. This will be a weird thing to ask you, but is bestiality legalised in Denmark? Is that true?
Bestiality, what is that again?
Or sex with animals?
Ah,
Or marriage
I
with
think
animals?
it is, unless you're hurting the animal. If it's just, I'm fine with this, you can fuck the shit out of it.
Yeah, that's right.
The rules are pretty crazy when
It's
it
pretty
comes
relaxed.
to that.
Yeah, it's pretty relaxed in
So
Denmark.
if it's not screaming or
Yeah, like
resisting,
if it's not inflicting pain.
not then you're all good.
Yeah, you can. Anyway, I just thought it's something that I heard along the way. Yeah. Because I after I saw your show there, I put a photo of myself up with a crocodile and Cape York.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I was only 18 years old. Yeah. And we were the guy holding the head at the head end of it. We were up in Cape York. There was a fisherman up there, a fishing guide.
But that was a saltwater crocodile.
The saltwater
wasn't it?
crocodile. Yeah, they're the real
so much
deal.
more scary. They got a death row.
Oh, this was a
and ripped you
freshwater
out.
one,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
The
No,
day before I went for a swim and
well, they're harmless to swim with.
yeah, and I told my mate that they're harmless, and then the day after I got bitten by it. And I was
But you
just like,
patted it though.
Yeah, you're asking for
Yeah,
it.
for those listening, like freshwater crocodiles, you can swim in fresh water and not worry about the freshwater crocodiles. But if you do try and touch one on the nose, you might be in trouble, from what I hear. But when we were up, there was a saltwater croc, and we were off, sort of Cape York towards Thursday on. We were fishing, and we were just had a little line, with a hook, trawling, so to speak, and we accidentally snagged it. And because it's a national park, we had to reel in and get the hook out.
Yeah, of course.
And it was quite scary. It was like getting, it would have been like yours, but its jaw was like getting two bits of wood and just whacking it together. And it was only, what was that, about maybe 4 foot long? That one
Yeah,
and a
but
half?
still, you know, the
Oh, the head-
5 meter mom is around there somewhere.
Yeah, but the head was only about that big, but the noise of it was so we ended up throwing a wet shirt over its head and managed to rest
Yeah,
it.
now you've been watching Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter.
No, this was
your
before
tips.
then. This is in
Oh,
'92.
oh,
This is a
yeah.
long time ago. Yeah. Anyway, so crocodiles aside. So you put a pretty solid score up.
Yeah, I'm happy with it. At least now I can get drunk. I was a bit afraid.
What do you mean now get drunk? This is sort of continuing on from last night, isn't it?
That's true.
Yeah. So you'll play again today, or you'll sit on that?
Nah. I feel like after that game, I feel like, fuck, I have a kill screen in me.
You have one in you, yeah.
Yeah,
You will
I do.
play.
So
Oh, great. That'd be
We're
good.
playing a bit more.
Well, it's a $250 prize for kill screen, isn't it?
Oh, it is?
I think so. I think it's a $250 prize.
That'd be good.
You'll take
Proud
that.
for winning. I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah. So I wanted to. This is what I really want to talk about. Arcade scene in Europe.
Yep.
See, there is, like the arcade scene in Australia when I grew up here was clearly active, and it's very close to Southeast Asia, so getting games down in Australia for American influence. But I was always wondering, I know in the UK there are certain games that seem quite strong there. But what was it? How old are you first? That's probably important to know.
I'm 28.
So you're too young for the 80s.
Yeah, I was born in '89, so.
Yeah. But are cabinets common or they're not very common?
Like even back in the day, when my mates were playing at a grill bar where you could get some greasy food, they had cabinets, but they had their original board in it,
Yep.
or a bootleg, and the side of it was just wooden. So
Yeah,
we had
that's like here. Was like
we had Combi Game and another one called I can't remember that right now, but we had two kind of cabinets, but there was no side up, no nothing, and
Yeah. Well, that was how it was here. Like, it was too expensive to bring the whole cabinet, so they just cleaned the guts. And we had a guy here, David Hankin, who was a pinball designer.
Yep.
And he designed the upright and low-boy cabinets we have here. In my opinion, they're actually better than the original, actual, because they're a nicer shape. You don't have this big screen that you can stand over. They're much more comfortable to play on. They might have a low-boy here, or I'm pretty sure they had one. Yeah, they're much. It's not a tabletop. It's an upright. It's like a cabaret, but they're really. I've got a low-boy. I bought one recently. Anyway, So how did you get into it then? If there were so few boards around, so few cabinets around, and one, it's 20 years after. Like, your birthday's wrong to be interested in that sense. And you're in a country that Denmark's only it's less than 4 million, isn't it?
I think we're up to 5 now.
Oh, 5 now,
Around
okay.
5 million, yeah.
Okay, so 5 million people. It's like Australia. Oh, sorry, it's like the size of Sydney, spread out over a very wet country.
But no, that never really wasn't that many arcade games out. Pinball was more common.
Yeah.
We had a few places, but nowadays it's only private collectors.
Yeah.
So yeah, pinball machines were a big thing. Like even when I was a kid, that's what I experienced. My dad was really into the pinball, so that was really good, really cool.
So that was somewhat a gateway into arcade.
Yeah, I was just impressed how long people played the pinball. Like we were ordering pizza, and then he was playing the Terminator 2, and then the pizza is ready, and he just left the game with 2 balls left.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But yeah, and then I think I started out I always loved console games, Mario and all that.
Oh, yeah.
So I was in Australia for the first time back in 2009, and I was at a backpacker hostel, and they had a 16-1.
Oh, yeah.
And I was playing Donkey Kong, and I was like, fuck, this is the first Mario game. And I think I did maybe 20,000. I didn't even know there was a Pie Factory. Then I came home, watched the King of Kong, and
this is in 2009.
yeah, then I watched the King of Kong maybe a year later, and then I just knew I have to be good at Donkey Kong.
It was like clear that you have to do this.
Oh yeah, because I loved the game so much, and there were 60 games.
No, it's okay. Where's the...
Oh, yeah,
Stay there.
Yeah.
Talking. Carry on, says.
Yeah.
Carry
On
on.
the keyboard?
Ignore me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sorry, so you're saying...
So that really got me into it, especially after watching the King of Kong. I'm like, fuck, this is... Yeah, I couldn't even believe it.
Yeah.
I was just brought into it. And then I was like... Then I got a hold on MAME. I got, I think, 600 ROMs or so. And then I just started playing. Then I bought a little tabletop cabinet, 16-1. And I really enjoyed that as a joystick. So I built my own MAME cabinet.
There seems to be the thing you have to do, like Alan's saying. I was saying it's like a Jedi thing. You play Donkey Kong, then you build your cabinet.
Yep.
Now you have fully fledged Jedi kind of Donkey Kong.
I went on forums and started talking to other people who played these games, and there was a high score list, so we were competing against each other. And then this guy Michael, who owns the shit over in Denmark, a private arcade collection. I think we have 30 original games. So I've never met the bloke, but he just invites people every 3 times a year. He does an open shit and he invites people over. And then it just really grew on me, that community, and it was not that much about the games anymore. It was more like having a good time with your friends. Like that's one of the reasons why I'm here today. It would be nice to win, but I'm here to just hang out and have a good time.
It's the reason I'm here. Like, it's funny. Like, I'm not really a video game player. I mean, I am and I'm not. But for me, video games was always social. So going to the arcade, playing was fun. But I'm saying with console, I don't have a console. At home. But if I was at your place and said, hey, what do you want to do? We'll do it like and you say, let's play this. I'd say, yeah, okay, because you're in the same room.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like, yeah, let's do this. But
But you would never put a game on just by yourself and sit and play.
well, I did with that year I chased Gallagher, did that world record.
Oh, yeah.
But I wasn't in a good frame of mind. At the end of that year, I was diagnosed with clinical depression with suicidal tendencies. So I can laugh about it now, but I'm not laughing. I mean, it's a serious issue, but looking back, I can look at it and feel good that I broke through that. But yeah, I'm not a And there's nothing wrong with people do that, but for me it was always very social. So coming up to doing commentary like this, I'm more than happy to be a part of it. I enjoy the scene. There's something about the retro arcade. I think it's partly because there isn't lots of money involved. So therefore it brings, like, winning or losing is really not...
It's always
It's not going to change your life if you win this.
Exactly.
It's not like I can retire now that I've won all that money. You know?
And I will never be mad at the guy who beat me. It'll always be me be mad at myself.
Yeah.
It's me against the machine. It's always been that.
Whereas I think the sort of first-person shooter stuff and like what we're seeing in South Korea and now with Fortnite, you know, like those really big tournaments, the level of professionalism that comes into that means that I think when you get to that point in anything, your reasons for doing it can be lost a little bit because it becomes a livelihood. Whereas here, if you turned around in a year's time, I think I've had enough of it.
Yeah, no worries.
You know, you just keep living. You know, like you're not forced to play.
No, you don't
Everyone
dedicate
here
your life to it.
wants to play. You know, they want to be here.
Oh yeah, exactly. It's not like you're forced to play or anything. It's like maybe that's what got into it, but now all of a sudden you feel like you have to.
Yeah.
That takes the fun out of it. It's all fun.
So do you have a proper, like an authentic Nintendo Donkey Kong circuit board in your machine now?
Nah, I don't have an original PCB. The only original PCB I own is a Ladybug and a Centipede board. But I never played any of them.
You must need to get one. You've got a machine. You don't want to put one in, or?
Nah, but the machine I have is like a computer hidden inside a cabinet with a LCD screen.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So I don't really have the real deal.
Yeah. But you can hook up a PCB to an LCD.
Yeah, you could easily.
I mean, Barrow's in favour of that. He doesn't like the raster screen. You know, he doesn't.
Yeah.
He prefers to have an LCD.
I brought my Ladybug over here, and hopefully on Monday we can plug it in and mess around with it.
But you haven't played in a con-off in the US, have you?
No, never.
So you've come to both Oz con-offs, but not one to the US.
No, I've been watching the Con-Off since 2011 from the first one. I always wanted to go.
But you're much closer to the US.
Yeah, but Australia, I don't know what it is really that haven't gotten to the US yet. It's more, I came here for the first time in 2009, and then in 2015 I stayed for 2 years. And I just fell in love with the country, and after being here at the first Con-Off, I just knew I had to be here again, like come back and be a part of this. And it's just amazing meeting these guys, like Ethan Daniels. I haven't met him before, like met you before, and just unreal.
I think there are sort of. Geez, Jimmy, we've got an update there now on the top 16. So it's starting to look even more competitive, isn't it?
Shane did well.
Yeah. I think there is a comfortable correlation between the Scandinavian countries and Australia. Like I've been to Norway.
All right. How did you like that?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, it was expensive. Yeah,
Man,
crazy
smokes and
expensive.
alcohol, forget about it.
Yeah. I bought a drink, and I was with a friend, and he said, don't do the maths, otherwise you won't buy the drink.
Nah. You just get you depressed, like, thinking about it, just enjoy yourself, you're on vacation, like.
Yeah, just getting off Donkey Kong, but talking about it, I'm not really much of a drinker anymore, but when I went there, this was in sort of 2008, I think, from memory, because it was in summer, there was no dark. And I bought, well, you know how the daylight all night coming in there. And the friend I was visiting, I bought him some scotch and some gin on the way over, like litre bottles, because it's so cheap in comparison. And he was, great, he was so grateful. But I only found out afterwards he's not really a gin drinker. And he wanted to have a barbecue that night. So he said, I'm interested in martinis. And I said, yeah, sure. And he was just mixing them into tall glasses like this. But because there was no indicators, no clues that time was passing by, and this will sound like an exaggeration, because this happens, doesn't it? He was cooking the barbecue, and was with coals, so it was quite slow, so he lit the coals. By the time the barbecue was cooked, and he served on a plate, he said, come sit down. We're sitting out on the ground. I sat down, they put the food in front of me, and as soon as I looked at it, I knew I was that drunk. I drank half a litre of gin in the time it took to make that. And I just looked at the food, and I just went, I can't eat this. And I said, I need to get up and go for a walk. Like I was that. And then I found out it was 1 o'clock in the morning. And it was light like outside.
Yeah.
Like, it was I could have read.
You just lose track of time.
That makes you drinkers, I think.
Yeah, true. You're right. So what year was this?
That was in 2008.
All right. Nah, it's just,
But do you think there is the relation? I don't know. I think that there's there is kind of a relaxed attitude when I was in other Scandinavians. I mean, certainly around drinking and stuff.
It's just a part of the culture, so you just,
I mean, it's true, I suppose, the world over. But anyway, I can see why when you said there's a fondness. I really enjoyed my time in Norway, except for it's such an expensive place to live. But I found that there was a similarity in interest and humour, and I found anyway. Yeah.
like they're people. You say that
They like
to interact with other
They're
people.
gregarious, social people.
Yeah,
they like to
they
talk.
are,
They
yes.
like to hang out, have a barbecue, coming over to my place,
Yeah,
invite you in.
I
They
haven't
want you to come over.
That's what I really loved about Australia when I first arrived. They were like, "Hey, how's it going, mate?" And I just, "Who the fuck are you?" I'm like, I didn't know if I knew him or what. And then
No.
everyone is just so friendly, and I just love that.
Yeah, you can become very good friends
Yeah,
quickly.
really. In Denmark, people can't tend to walk into you like, "Hey, you have a problem?" I'm like, "Oh no, I don't. I'm just walking down the street."
Oh, it happens here too, from city to city.
But in Australia, I feel like people are so friendly.
Yeah, generally I think that's
It's
true.
a beautiful country.
Yeah.
The animals, the wildlife, the
Yeah, they
nature.
like you.
Man, I'm
That's
a big
good.
fan.
Yeah. So what are you going to do while you're here apart from the Kong off? You're going to travel around some more, I guess?
Nah, I'm just gonna stay low here in Brisbane. I can't really work anymore. I'm done with my second year working on holiday visa,
Oh,
so
okay.
now I can only be here as a tourist for 3 months at a time.
You'll have to marry someone and move out.
That's I talked to the government and they were like, "Yeah, sorry, because I got sponsored by my boss and I could actually stay for 4 years and become a citizen."
Yeah.
Then the government changed the rules and I talked to him on the phone and he's like, "Yeah, your only option now is to marry you into the country."
Marry someone.
Yeah.
That can't be too hard. Half of the people in Australia are women. So
That's good odds.
that's good. There's 25 million, so that's pretty good. Well, then you've got to calibrate age, Of course, some are too young, and you've got some who are
No, I
probably
wouldn't.
too
It's
old.
my ticket into the country. I'll
Well, you can marry a man,
9-year-olds.
too.
Yeah, just legalize that.
Yeah, so you can do
That's
that too
great.
now. Yeah, no, it is a good thing. It's
You
fantastic.
were taken.
Yeah, I'm married. Yeah, sorry, buddy.
Yeah, sort of ring.
Yeah. Oh, well, maybe it's an argument for polygamy. We need to be able to marry more than say I can marry you and still be my
Great.
wife.
You could be my ticket in.
Yeah, I'll start lobbying, when I get back to Melbourne. So who are we looking at playing here? Who's this over here?
So many names to be honest. John.
I'll see if we can get Jimmy to. I don't know I don't want to interfere with stuff
Richie's
going
playing.
on. Yeah, it's not Richie. Yeah.
Just kick me out if you want Jimmy in here.
So I'm not sure. It makes it a bit easier to commentate when you know who's playing. Anyway, we can have a look at this. So where are we at? We're only on level 2. So really just going to try and run through this, aren't they? There's nothing to be done here. A little bit of point pressing, but
Pretty
just
much a free pass. You don't even have to
Yeah.
look at the springs. Just go.
yeah. I've been talking about the short and long springs. I've been saying that a bit late, like while I've been on this morning, talking about that knowledge of the long and short springs, knowledge of the
That's
star and
the
the
key
weave.
to be good at Donkey Kong.
But it's
That
also
really
the
is
key to appreciate the gameplay.
Yeah, it
If
really
you don't
is.
know, you think, what are they doing? Just sitting there, move. But then you realise they're waiting for that chance. It's like, did you ever do double Dutch skipping where they skip the rope like that? Where you get 2 skipping
Oh,
ropes.
it's
You
not
do
like
this.
in the school when I was a kid.
Yeah. And you bet there's that kind of like,
Yeah, you
when,
have
do
to-
I, when do I go? When do I go? It's the
Oh,
same with
man.
the springs,
It
isn't it? It's like,
actually is.
and you see someone going, oh, and then you jump back. it's probably the best
You
thing.
want to
known.
go back and retreat.
So it's like, we can go, come on, Johnny, in you go, come now. And then people will call it now.
But you don't want to rush it, but you know, just wait for it.
But once you make the decision, there's no coming back.
No,
The real decision, you can hit,
you commit to it, and
Yeah.
either it goes right or it goes wrong. But
And then I was watching when I think it would have been you at one point. They had different people up, and you could see the commit run, and that's it. But I saw occasionally someone commit barrel, and you go, "No, I'm going back." Like you obviously just
you know you have to go on
Yeah.
on that spring. But you have to have that spring, that follow up. You can have a bad spring after the right spring.
Oh, okay.
So
And that'll
you
take
can't
you
just
out.
trust the spring. If it comes a short one after that, you're fucked.
Oh, that's what he must have done. So he got to the ladder,
Yeah, then he saw.
and then he
the
came
spring
back.
afterwards. It's not the
He
one.
went,
that
well,
goes.
then he went back, and then went again. And it was a bit of to and fro. And it's one of those games where you can almost see the person thinking. Like where you watch like here, there's nothing. Like this is just jumping, and he's going to, like that's classic kind of result of the star pattern, isn't it? Yeah. The star.
So you're not competing in this tournament.
No.
What is your personal best?
The one I did before this, I was asked to play a game, so I've never tracked. So I got 17,000 points.
Oh, okay.
I went down to Bartronica and I was asked to put a score up, so I went down and played one game, took a screenshot of the nice. But yeah, as far as I know, that is my personal best. I'm not a Donkey Kong player.
Gallagher.
Well, I was a Gallagher player.
You're
going back.
retired.
Yeah, well, that was the year I wasn't too well, so I did the world record and sold the machine, and that was that. And then when Score Wars came about, they asked me to go, but I made it clear that I was coming over to do more commentary and things like that. You know,
It was kind of blast.
Oh, it was
Meeting up with
fantastic.
fellow people who enjoys the game.
Well, it's the same feel here. You know, like it's the same sort of thing.
It's just nice a game like that can bring people together.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And I think we're going to see more of it. You know.
Yeah, thank you.
And I think we're going to see more of it. I think we're going to see other things popping up. I think a large part of it is accessibility of cabinets. I think I'd love to see. I mean, I've talked about this enough with people; they know my stuff. But I'd love to see a Robotron tournaments. And I think, yeah, and George Spanos was saying the same. And I was talking to Ethan Daniels about it. And it's ideal. Like they're short games, you know. So
Unless you can marathon it.
I mean, I'm talking tournament. You know, it really suits today's contemporary gameplay.
Yeah.
Like it's short, fast,
And it's really cool to watch. Like if you're a skilled player, it's just it's
manic.
almost. Yeah, it's mad. Yeah.
But and they've got the J-Rock circuit boards out. I don't know if people are familiar with that, but it's a very small little circuit board about so big, and it has all the Williams games on it. But you talk to those in the know, like Ken House and John McAllister, who know Robotron well. It's not just an emulator. It is the same. It's the same. So that means that around the world you could get one of these for $200, 200 yen.
That's a fair price. You get all the games.
But it's jammer connection, so it's not all this extra wire.
No, it's just easy to plug in. Like,
then
make it simple for people.
So a thing like this, an event like this, you've got to build the cabinets, you still got to monitors, but you don't have to try and find these old original boards to make,
exactly.
you know, you just
can't really trust them. Like,
yeah.
So could that be the next Star Wars game, Robotron maybe?
Well, this year coming 2019, they're doing a console. From when I spoke to them,
Okay.
and I suggested they do Robotron. There's talk of doing that in 2020, but
What
there's
console
no.
is that made on?
I'm not. Sorry, the what console next year? They do what console game?
Yep.
I'm not. I never asked. You know, like, and it's so unless they. I mean, there was confident talk about doing one next year, but it won't be Gallagher. It'll be a console game and a more recent game. I think they suggested. And then 2020, they were talking of an idea of doing Robotron then, which I think would be fantastic. You know.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be really cool.
I think it's really good they're mixing up, like doing a console, bringing other games
that's
in
nice.
together. You know.
We have pinball tournaments, but you rarely see console gaming unless it's. So it has to be an old console, right? Like a Nintendo NES or Super Nintendo or Saturn or something like that. An old Sega.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the real thing for console games for me would be speed runs.
Yeah.
That's such, you know, they I just think, you know, because some of those console games they can play for hours. You know, you can't. They're just naturally built that way. You know. But for speed runs and things like that.
It makes it interesting.
So Johnny, you reckon when do you reckon you'll play again? Because when you start, we might try and get your game up again. Or maybe you don't want to know that. Maybe it's going to put you off. You don't know you're going to be
Nah,
watching.
I wouldn't mind really, but there's only I think 2 or 3 cabinets that can actually.
I think there's more than that.
There's a camera on it.
Yeah, I think they've taken off the live. They've taken off the direct feed at the moment. Oh, Jimmy. Sorry. Hey, Jimmy, do you mind changing his name? Just remove the name for now if we're not going to. Sorry, because I don't know who is that playing there. Oh. You're not sure? Oh, sorry. There are a lot of players here. And how come when I'm playing, Johnny, I can never see how many men are left from? Oh, it's up the top. I'm always looking down here for it for some reason. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, that's pretty standard in most games.
Yeah.
Oh, the shit! That's my mate Michael Trier from Denmark.
Hey.
Yeah, buddy.
So what's his name? Michael, is it?
Michael, yeah, he's just the best.
He'd be called Mick here.
Oh, yes?
That'd be nickname. Would be Mick.
Oh, it would, yeah, that's true.
In America, it tends to be like North America, Mike, but we say Mick generally.
Yeah.
You become a Mick,
You
not a
short the
Mike.
name down.
Yeah, it's a Mick. So hello, Mick. Oh, it's good that he's tuned in.
Yeah, man, he's the best.
Is he an arcade player like yourself?
He's more like he's like the Danish all the day.
Yeah.
He does so much for the gaming community in Denmark, but he's not he doesn't play much. He just collects the games and
Oh, okay. Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, you won a Pac-Man tournament, didn't you?
Yeah, I won a fucking 13-kilo cheese.
That's
And I
so
went
Scandinavian.
down to the shop and it was so heavy, and I was like, I live fucking 2 k's away.
That's like
I was about to roll it home.
That'd be the equivalent in Australia of winning like a box of Vegemite, wouldn't it? Like
Yeah,
cheese is
yeah.
such a, you know, like
It was just
Jarlsberg.
ridiculous. And I got a Pac-Man suit, of course, but that
But
cheese...
the wheel of cheese, did they cut out the wedge so it looked like?
No, but
That would have been
when
classy.
I got the cheese, it was already a bit moldy, and I was like, fuck
Oh,
it.
yeah.
I brought it home and I couldn't fit it in my fridge.
No, that's when you
So I
get the
stored it under the bed for 2 days, and it was just...
that's when you get the jack-o'-lantern and start making sandwiches.
Oh, it started smelling really bad, and then I was like, I'm gonna sell it. This guy shows up and wanted to buy it, and he opened the box and was, mate, it's moldy. But I was like, mate, $200 or 200, and he was like, all right, I'll fucking buy it. He bought a fucking...
I suppose you can cut the mold off. It's just around the
Yeah,
outside.
he could. But like cheese, it almost have to be moldy, right?
So how are you received in Denmark with your? Do you want a Fanta?
Yeah.
How are you received with your? What sort of attention do you receive for like coming here? Is it like local newspapers, things like that? Is anyone
You
interested
would
in it?
never see it in the papers. It's more like in the gaming community, everyone is just fuck. He's going over to play some Donkey Kong. They're excited about it. Like my mate Svavar, he just went to the Tetris Championship. So we're really excited in Denmark, and it's just one of the best for him. So it's just you just get really excited.
But having
Because I
been to
love the
Europe,
games.
having been to Europe a few times, like it's about the width of Australia, all of Europe, but there's so many little countries.
Yeah.
Are there any other activities outside of Denmark that you're aware of that you've been to? Is there anything like that going on?
No, not really. Of course, there's always something happening in the US, but there's this retro gaming where you can buy, sell, and trade games over in Malmö. That's Sweden. Malmö, the capital. Yeah, that's Sweden. No,
What are you saying? What's the capital?
they have like a. I just couldn't remember if it was Sweden or Norway, but they have like a where you can meet and buy and trade games.
Oh, yeah.
But that's pretty cool. I would love to go to that.
But I can't think of his name, but I'm pretty sure it's an Italian who created Maine. So there is an interest in arcade culture, like it's an Italian programmer who came up with Maine,
All right.
which is pretty exciting. Yeah. Someone might know that here. Paul Mitski would know the name if he's listening. He might type it up for us. But I'm pretty sure it's an Italian person who created Maine. If not Italian, then Europe, but I'm pretty confident it's Italian. So there is an interest in arcade games, you know, like this, but just not a centre for it in Europe as such.
No, but yeah.
Maybe it should be Denmark, Johnny. Maybe you need to start pushing the envelope a bit.
Maybe. Just a bit.
So this looks like the OzCon off in Brisbane sounds like it's going to become a regular event for you on the
I
calendar.
really hope so. It have to be.
Yeah. So we're almost at a start here. So I was hoping we'd get there. So I thought we could do a little bit of maths and check out pace. What do you reckon?
try that.
To demonstrate the theory of pace. Yeah, calculator. But he has to finish level 5 first, doesn't he? So that'll be fun. And we can. Oh, what happened?
Oh, he's so good. Who's playing?
But he was at a finish, wasn't he? And then
Oh,
what? Oh, it's down the bottom. Oh, sorry.
God.
Go, you good thing. Hey!
Way to go.
Nice one. So what's your name? What's your name? Luke Bushel. Luke Bushel.
Good on you, mate. That was
Oh, he had a
insane.
score up. Yeah, that was fantastic. Luke had a score up as Luke B earlier, and I was wondering who it was. So he's here to compete.
All right. 90, 500.
90. What was it?
90,500.
90,000. You've already done the maths.
Oh, now we have to see him clear a level, then we can figure out what his.
Yeah. But doesn't he have to finish level 5 to do the?
Now when you finish level 5, we know what he's capable of doing at that level.
Oh,
Then we can just
sorry.
Go to
Yeah,
level
yeah,
21.
all right. So he's 90.
That's his start score.
Yeah, that's his start score. But to get his overall, so we've got a start score of 90,500. But
Now
to
we
get
need his level score by the end of.
at the end of this whole level of level 5, then we can do the real calculation.
Yeah, see what pace he's on. Yeah.
But that was pretty crafty play, wasn't
Man,
it?
that was really skilled.
A weaker player like myself might have given up or just ran into something stupid.
You need luck as well, but he just made the right decisions. And
I think it's true in many arcade games, particularly and especially pinball. A little bit of luck can go a long way, can't
True,
it? Like,
you
it's
really
like-
need luck.
Yeah. But it won't. I don't think a little bit of luck's going to take you all the way to the kill screen. You know. But
There's so much skill involved.
you know, and inversely, like a little bit of bad luck will actually go a terrible long way.
Like Barra last year at the Kongor, he had the highest and the lowest score. Like he had the one and only kill screen, 880,000 something. And then he bombed out at, 70,000 in the finals, or in his first match.
Just lost one on the pies, but he was actually jumping pies. Now, the Weeby freebie is an interesting one, so we haven't really talked about it. So here's the Weeby freebie. If he just runs up this next ladder and jumps across to the prize,
Yes.
we've got the Weeby freebie. So now, whether last time he was blocked, I didn't see. Like whether he was decided to just, whether he was pushing for points, I'm not sure. But he's with two men in reserve and the one he's on, like this could be a decent score. I mean, it is a good score already, but like, but
Getting 100,000 without dying, that's
so now we're going to see some barrel steering, aren't we? You know,
way to go.
that's good. Now this is the stuff I think that people can't fully appreciate, and I'm not saying I know because I can play it because I can't, but I've been having a few goes this morning and fiddling around when I have tried to play .com, but I've never, like just fiddling around. Those backward jumps aren't as easy as they look. Just getting the control right, because you can easily just turn yourself around and not. It's got to be bang on, hasn't it? Like left, right, like left and jump.
I still can't do it consistently. I can't do it, but especially when the pressure is on, it's probably 50-50 when I pull it off or not.
But I'm impressed by players where I use a dot like illustrate. So here's a barrel coming towards one, and rather than jumping forward, they let it jump backwards and they trap you like this sort of.
You gotta do that once in a while, yeah.
And I've seen better players do a couple of barrels in a row like that.
You get a combination of barrels. You just can't jump, so you have to back jump them.
And it's not strictly reflex. It's the practice of doing it to know that that's available to do. I'm not saying it's not reflex, but you've got to have learned and measured all these
You wouldn't
actions.
really know it almost.
Yes.
This is the stage that separates the men from the boys.
This is what I was talking about to other people before. Like we're looking for the long, and we saw it there because we're further on the right side of the foot of Kong.
To hit exactly that yellow platform.
Yeah,
Just to line up exactly where that is.
we'll focus on it as we come to it again on the next one. So here we'll see some. Now, as you were saying before, John, like as he's moving, he's controlling all the barrels at the top there. So he's starting to grip, and it's even that. See, he must have known that there was just enough room for him to make it jump. That's the sort of stuff that I find we can look at there.
Oh yeah. You get to a point where you don't want to risk it. Where you just know.
And that what people have been referring to as the drop zone, underneath the Kong there. Just the knowledge I've seen players sometimes they're so aware of that they're safe to sit there and even when they zigzag and those wild barrels as they fly about. I've seen while being here today watching yourself and Barra in that play, knowing that they can charge in that position that they're going to miss. And, it's just all that sort of stuff that if you're just watching it casually without doing your homework.
Yeah, you wouldn't know, but when you have the knowledge, it's so much more fun to look at because you can see what kind of skill.
Yeah, it's so much more fun to watch. So here we're seeing the classic star, aren't we?
Yep.
Now we've got.
Here we are at the level.
Yeah, so we're going to have a barrels at threes, the second and fourth, but so we've got there we go, that's one at the top, he's frozen, isn't he? He's coming down the ladder now.
A bit of a problem to get to the top, but at least that one is out of the way.
So this isn't looking good. So what would you do here, Johnny? This is interesting.
That's the funny thing is sometimes I was like, fuck, I would have never done that, and then it pays off. So now he's doing what I would have done so far.
He's got it. He's playing well, isn't he? And this is those things but then you can't steer these Firefoxes, but you can. Oh yeah, now we can do it, can't we? So we had 90,500. So what have we got?
38,300.
So we're 1,000. And now we've got to multiply this by 17. Is that right?
Yeah, because this is level 6.
No, hang on. Now what do we got to multiply. What do we do? We multiply
By 16.
Yeah. So we've got to take 90,000 away from this, don't we?
Yep.
All right, so we'll do it this way. So what we're doing, guys, is we're taking 138,300 points minus 90,500 points equals 47,000.
That's a decent level, actually.
47,800.
Times that with what, 16?
Yeah,
Then
no,
he's-
17. That means multiply.
Now, because he's level 5 and he needs level 6.
So 23. Level 23 we go to.
16 levels.
Oh, okay,
Because
sorry.
you don't count 20,
Oh, yeah,
22.
we just did it. So
There's only one screen.
So we go 47,000, we multiply that by 16, and then we add his 90,500. If his pace says he's going for 842,500 points. So there's a lot of talent in this game so far.
No, he's not on world record pace or anything,
Oh,
but
no,
that's
no,
a
but that's
decent.
what I mean.
That's
So
a
a lot of
decent
talent,
pace
that's a good
screen.
score, yeah.
Just
yeah.
running boards.
Yeah. So
what
if
you
he can
wanna do.
if he can keep running boards like that, and as we've known, like just sitting here, as far as between yourself and Jimmy, no one knows who he is. But we do now. We know. But I wonder if that's a typo. I wonder if it's Luke Bushnell. It could be.
Could he be related to-
Nolan? Could this be Nolan?
He's pretty insane.
He's come out here to.
So great files.
Yeah. Yeah. So Luke Bushell is on pace for
842,000.
840,000 or so. So 840,000. Let's see if he can do it.
I really hope so.
Exciting stuff. Here we go. So where are we on this? Oh, he's managed to profit from the Weeby freebie. You'd be happy with that.
Yeah, he's doing great. It's a pleasure to watch a guy, but it's even not funny like watching a guy who can't play the game. Like you appreciate it in different ways. Like if it's a world record pace, or if it's just someone who just started out, it's just because they do things you would never do. And it's just fun to watch.
It's interesting when you do watch a game. You do know you're a bit
Yeah, because I would have done that. So you just man.
Hey, look, someone's just said, Gil Connor said, can we get another stream on the board instead of your guys' ugly mugs for the fans, please? So that's a bit of an insult.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yeah. they want to see if we can get another Donkey Kong screen on. I'll ask Jimmy about that. I know they had a bit of a trouble before when it crashed, and whether they're reluctant to put it on and maybe look at it again tonight. I'll find out. So I'll check into that in a minute. But if no, not you. They don't want to get rid of you. They want to get rid of this picture and put another. They're not you. No, they want to get rid of both of us. Jimmy, we aren't putting another live feed on the screen here, are we? Just going to have the one for now? No, not a minute. Just in response to that, there was a technical area earlier, and I think until they can sort of look at it properly, we don't want to risk having the losing the stream when we crashed before. So I think we'll just be running the one for now, and the Luke Bushell game's looking pretty solid. I like it.
Yes, it is.
1-1, we're not too sure who he is.
Look, he's almost entering the top 16,
Yeah.
just around the corner.
So this is what we're hoping is going to happen. Those bottom say 4 scorers are going to put up competitive scores and start bunching things up a bit to be exciting, start pushing them up.
The last 6 places are so
Yeah.
close. That's insane.
So here we go, the run, and he's done it again. So he's a player who knows. Well done.
Good one, Luke. Nice.
It is Luke Bushell, isn't it? Oh, he's on his back on. I'll leave him alone. He's sitting right next to us, so but it's pretty noisy in here. I don't think you can really hear what we're talking about. Yeah, you can see him there on the left, on the bottom left there. That's his face closest to us. That's the game that's playing right now, Luke Bushell. And he's on pace for 840,000 plus score. And he's playing like a champ.
Oh, yes, I'm impressed.
Like he's doing all the textbook things, isn't he, really?
Yes. He's right after the book. I couldn't do it better myself. Way to go, steer the barrels, just like you should.
And he's done it again.
Van
Nicely
Luke
done.
just entered the top 16.
Yep, he's in the top 16. Yeah, we'll applaud that, mate. Well done, Luke. You're in the top 16,
You're in
mate.
the top 16, mate. Good on you. Now it's time to bring Hyde out.
So here we go, Johnny.
Oh, yep.
We've seen him get out of this twice very well, haven't we? The last 2 ones we saw, he's in trouble. He's not he doesn't seem to be too daunted by it. It's like he's had that. It's like he's practiced. He's been in those situations enough now. He knows what to do. Like any solid
Sometimes
player.
when you're just in the zone, it's just muscle memory, and you don't really worry too much. It's just everything just feels good being in the zone.
Now
Can't feel-
there are players who talk about being in the zone quite a bit. You know, like in Gallagher, for instance. Do you ever get in the zone really in this where you're really relaxed? I wouldn't.
I
thought
do.
You do.
I was
Yeah.
even on my last live, but I was at like almost 400k. But I was just glad I made it to the top 16, and even then I was safe. And then I just started enjoying the game.
So it
Even though
actually-
I was on my last man, I just it just felt good.
'Cause when
I
I
haven't
used-
had a game like that for a while, so it was really nice.
So when I played Gallagher, I found it quite therapeutic. But I can't imagine Donkey Kong's therapeutic. Too demanding mentally?
It
no?
is, but sometimes you're angry at the game, but it's ups and downs throughout the game. So you're getting high and lows. It's just I like that roller coaster ride, the rush.
Oh, yeah.
It's just
What do you do outside of Donkey Kong, Johnny? You play any sports at all? Or
I've been skating for 20 years.
ice skating, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's skateboarding. But
Oh, skateboard. Oh, sorry. Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, what else? I just love being out in the nature.
Yeah.
Love the wildlife.
Oh, this is why you got to marry someone here, mate.
Yeah,
you won't
I do.
find a bigger open wilderness.
And I love the outback in Australia. That really made me fall in love with the country. Just incredible, really.
Those who have tuned in, so I reckon you're going to. This is. I just have a feeling this is a good game to be around for.
Oh,
it's
is.
a
It's
a
nice.
new name. It's playing really, like from my knowledge, he's doing all the things that I expect to see watching someone like yourself.
You saw that move. He didn't panic.
He
He just
just
knew,
damaged it.
well, I have to grab the hammer.
Yeah.
Like, not a big issue, not a big deal. Like, yeah. And then it's straight up. Yep. Look at that, like a pro.
Oh, he does that.
Like
So even
a
those
pro,
backwards
man.
jumps, they're not easy, are they? You can easily fall, you can miss that, can't you? Watching, like it's not a.
It's just a pleasure to watch this. Like, so good.
The risk is there. You can actually have to be forced to run into Donkey
The
Kong.
pie, could be unlucky.
Yeah, I'm liking
Just
this.
bumped Kai out. Alan Storm's son bumped down the place now.
Yeah.
Next guy up is Brad.
Yeah. He is actually. We're watching someone climb the ladder. How high can Luke Bushell climb? Quite. Ooh.
That hurt.
Someone will blame. That'll be blamed on me in the feed. Someone will say I jinxed him now.
You did.
I did.
I would even say that.
I don't think this will be Luke's last game of the day, though. I think he's got a.
He's just warming up.
Yeah. He had a game. He did play one earlier.
Yeah, he had a few games.
Yeah, and he had it. Nicely done.
Oh, the fireball.
He's going to flick that around. Ah, it's too slow. Was there a chance to avoid that, or probably went
A bit
earlier?
faster, but then the hammer would have gone underneath the hammer.
Yeah.
The barrel, so, he was in a tough spot. And sometimes the pressure just gets to.
Yeah. I thought he was going to get that. That's why I was asking whether.
I feel a bit bad because I think I can hear what you're saying. And,
Oh, okay.
It's
It's pretty noisy.
Oh
See, I'm going to be.
no! Fucking way to go, mate.
Very good.
Then now Kai's on the bubble.
Yeah. So Mike Coolican's out.
Yeah.
That's what we want to see, though. Not Mike Coolican out. Just this bottom score's just been pushed up, which will cause a bit of a bunching effect. If we can get
That's good.
people can't sit without like Andrew Barrow. That's not reflective of his real ability.
No, not
So,
at all.
forcing him back onto a cabinet today would be a good thing to see, I reckon.
Yep, I'm with that. Because he's a kill screen player. He's capable of. He did a kill screen here last year. So
Yeah. And he's a 1 million point player.
Yep.
So, he's very entertaining to watch. So it'd be good to see him back on and play again. So I'm not sure who we're looking at now. I know Richie's got a game going over there. Have to get Jimmy to shift our camera across to Richie's game. Gets a minute. So, is there any other games out there you got your eye on?
I just got the Pang arcade world record a few weeks ago at Michael's place
Yeah.
at the shed. But yeah, no, not really, to be honest. I do want to get the Pang, what's it called, Point Blank, 180,000, I would love that.
Yeah. I think it seems to me like, you know, with certain games in life, like chess and Go, for instance, there's really only enough room in your life to play one of those. You know, with all the theory and strategy, like to play both.
Yeah.
You know, seriously play both. And you know, and it sort of becomes like that to certain sports. You can't, you know, you take, you know, you sort of have to, like in a game like cricket, you end up focusing a lot of your attention on bowling, or you focus on batting, or baseball, you pitch, or you bat.
Do it all, like, you have to.
And Donkey Kong is so competitive, you know.
It is.
But then you get people like Barrow who demonstrate, no, you can do both.
Yeah.
you can do 200 games if you want, like Barrow does. But generally speaking, it's a game that should certainly just dominate.
You know, I really have to put a lot of time and effort into if I want to be good at a game, or even skateboard. Like I really have to. So I can't do that many things at once.
Yeah.
Then I have to dedicate it.
Yeah.
But you have to want it and enjoy it. Like, enjoy the ride instead of feel like you're forced into doing it.
Yeah. I think that's the big thing. Well, it's also too, Jimmy, if we switch it to Richie's game maybe. Oh, we can. Well, someone's getting on here. Whatever you like.
Oh, he just got bummed out. He was spot 16.
Oh, okay.
So he's
Come back
up
on to
next.
get it back. Yeah.
That's good. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So we've got Mike Coolican coming back on to get
Final
himself
start
the top.
10 a.m. tomorrow.
Oh, okay. So final start 10 a.m. tomorrow. That's Brisbane time. So make sure if you're in a, you know, there's a daylight saving, so I don't know who's asking these questions, but yeah, 10 a.m. tomorrow, and we'll be doing commentary again. And it's arranged that Billy Mitchell will be on in the morning to have a chat.
All right, he will.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the plan. So
How
if
do you
all goes
feel
well-
about the whole thing?
Oh,
Should we get into that, or?
no, I'm happy to talk about it. I think that, I mean, I'll just give you my take on it, okay?
Yes, please.
I'm not an IT person, so all we can do is look. Actually, the best way to do it is let's deal with the facts. So, and we'll put the facts down to those who have control.
That is cheated. That's the facts.
Yeah, that's the facts. So the facts are that Twin Galaxies in the Guinness Book of World Records and the Donkey Kong Forum with Jeff Harris have said those scores entered are not credible because they don't display typical game behaviour. They display main behaviour, and that's they're the facts, right? Now, whether that's the truth as such, like whether it wasn't the tape or something else, who knows? But they're the facts. They're the facts. So, seeing those as the facts, that is how history has it. But the broader history of Billy Mitchell is the first perfect Pac-Man score, the first kill screen, you know, and then the other things like his centipede scores from early on. And I know the rules have changed around that from what I understand because there's certain things that are now seen as point leeching that you can't do anymore. But either way, his role in video games in history is undeniable. Yeah, and he's demonstrated that recently. Like he's put up, you know, about 3 or 4 million point scores.
I feel like it's just too late. Like, all right, if you do a million, but
Yeah.
just change the fact that you actually cheated.
Yeah. So I think that where it is now for me, like my feelings about it is that Billy's gaming is, in my opinion, is in the broadest sense of the community. It's better for it. Not what happens, but to have Billy in things. Like it's because he's a big personality. He can play Donkey Kong.
It's done a lot for the community, of
Yeah.
course. He
Yeah.
pretty much got me into playing Donkey Kong,
Yeah.
like watching the King
That's
of
what I mean,
Kong.
like King of Kong and stuff like that. And then you've got, like, and Jeff Harrison's, like, I think his approach was to remove those scores, but he didn't remove his old scores. You know, like, they're still there. Now, had those older scores been up in the top 10, that might have caused more investigation because they weren't a threat to certain players, I suppose, that they were comfortably, like, where's Billy's score? I think it's down around number 50, I think. It's quite low, like, his score. You know,
It's not even
comparison,
important anymore.
yeah. In that regard, it's not that the score. That historically, it's important, but you know, on the leaderboard, it's not. You know, so I think that and I think the trajectory of video gaming, retro gaming, is going to be my feeling. And I don't know. I'm just someone who's interested, an enthusiast. I think it's going to be live events like this.
Yes,
and
yes. It's going to keep it alive.
and I think we saw it in many things recently. Like this year has been a real can't say revival because it wasn't like this back. You know, there was no live streaming like this before. So with Twitch, the Score Wars with Gallagher, the Kong Off, this Kong Off was and then the previous Kong Off, and the Tetris that just happened. Just recently.
Like you have the forums where you can talk scratch and all that.
And the amount of documentary footage that people are doing in the retro community, game community, and pinball tournaments are growing bigger and bigger. So I think, and now with Doc Mack and Galloping Ghost in Chicago, and his connection throughout other arcades, and he now owns Allcade from David Nelson. I'm not David Nelson. I can't think of his name. I'll think of it later. I don't know why I said David Nelson. He used to be the head ref for Tweed Galaxies, but I'll think of it later. But now that he owns Allcade, so that means Allcade just tracks live scores from arcades that he'll affiliate because he'll say, oh, they understand the ruling in that. So I think, and this is bring back to Billy, I think someone like Billy could play a really positive role in that live play community, you know, because he does bring people, and he has his but he has his fans, and like, there's people who love and loathe him.
Yeah.
So
Either you love him or hate him. Like
he's a controversial character.
Like a bad guy, but I think he actually likes that.
Yeah. Oh, he's got a particular type of humour, like a sense of humour. But I also think that how to put it, you can make too much of it as well. Like I feel that, like this year alone, for instance, let's look at this year alone, just in local events. I will say local to arcade gaming. I mean, not geography. We had scores like John Tannehill took the world record on Space Invaders. That was a huge score, but because of the controversy that surrounded Todd Rogers and Billy Mitchell, it shrouded. Everyone is so focused on this that a lot of things.
He didn't get the recognition he deserved.
Yeah.
And the game is 10 years old himself.
Yeah. Just 20 years old.
20 years.
Yeah, he's only 20 years. So I think
deserve a lot of credit taking out that score.
Well, hopefully there'll be an article out very soon on that I've put together. So hopefully that'll come out this weekend.
And even like the Wonderboy World Record, Red Slot World Record, there's a lot of scores have been beaten here, and it's Brisbane is like Australia's gaming capital.
Yeah, they seem to have embraced it.
Yeah, it's just unreal what's been happening.
So I think in regards to all that, Johnny, like I feel that because of I have a theory that some arcade gaming that people enter it with a level of enthusiasm like you have, but then they have a certain expectation of themselves. When things turn sour, they become jaded about the game, they don't enjoy it anymore, and then it becomes nasty. And I think that would happen in any knitting circle or anywhere else, you know, like I didn't get the prize, so I'm going to damn everyone. And I think that the sad thing about that is where the real positive things going on, and even if they're not achieved, like John McAllister and Penthouse were really pursuing the pole position world record, and they were really going for it, and they haven't broken it. But even the attempt to go for it should be acknowledged.
Oh, definitely.
You know, this is probably the only remaining 80s game.
Yeah.
But you could get lost in controversy.
They do when they tend to focus on all the negative things, unfortunately.
And that doesn't mean that those things shouldn't be addressed. Okay, you do it, but to go on and on and on. I mean, admittedly, that was very investigated for the obvious reasons. He was such a notable figure, and he'd done things that he had fame for, and he had things he had notoriety for, and therefore it became such a big issue. And of course, the media got hold of it, like Rolling Stone magazine, and they blew it up to something much bigger. But for those in the gaming community, it wasn't the most exciting thing that happened this year. There were much more exciting things going on.
I feel like it's more the people who's not in the gaming community that they just see like King of Kong, they see Billy Mitchell, and then they don't really know the backstory.
Yeah, and the backstory is very deep.
Oh, it is.
It's kind of like Area 51 of the arcade.
But then when you see the documentary, people think, oh, it's real.
No.
There's so many holes in that movie. It's more like it's just entertainment. And take it what it's for, and that's entertainment. It's not like a documentary.
Yeah. Well, from my research, talking to people like Robert Milchek and Ken House, like a lot of people are, Dwayne Richard. The issue that surrounded the whole thing was a half story told, but particularly around Steve Levy, was that he was playing on a double Donkey Kong board. So it was a Donkey Kong Junior board with a daughter board to it, and he was playing with an 8-way joystick. and you'll be able to tell me if I'm wrong here, but with an 8-way joystick, you can manage to control the barrels when you're sitting on the ladder.
Yep.
Yeah.
But the sketchy part is, if I push the joystick down, and it's an 8-way, I can do it by mistake and actually go to the right or left.
Yeah.
And then you're stuck. So it's risky to play with an 8-way.
Yeah.
Like my main cabinet in Denmark, that's an 8-way, because I like to play other games. And I can't change it from 8-way to 4-way. And I've died so many times in Donkey Kong because it's 8-way.
And
My
that-
mistakes because you're pushing up or down, and it's actually pushing left, and you're stuck in a ladder and it kills you.
yeah, and that illustrates perfectly that it does affect the game.
It does, but I wouldn't say I would have credit for the guy who kill screens Donkey Kong on an 8-way joystick, because it takes skills to, maybe you can manipulate it, and then you can actually do it to your advantage. But it's, you might as well.
And there's a case, like you could, if the video was found or was retrieved or made public, you could argue a case that Steve Wiebe cheated, but I would argue a case that Steve Wiebe was just naive and just played and whatever. But if it was decided he cheated, then he too would get his scores that above that would be removed. Because that's how the dispute system works in Twin Galaxies. So if it was proven that, let's choose someone local. If it was proven that Andrew Barrow did something that was wrong, he'd lose all 123 world records because of something he might have been naive to. And that's where the error was.
Did you do this on purpose, or was it a mistake?
Intentional, yeah.
Mistake, yep.
Yeah. So it's hard to know. Like I would argue that Steve Wiebe, if he was steering the barrels on the ladder, he knew he could do it, but he might not have known that you weren't allowed to do that.
No.
Because you got to remember. Like this is interesting because you entered the games, the arcade scene, same time as me, 2000 in recent, like 2009.
Yep.
So I got my machine, and then Twitch wasn't around. People like uploading a video on the internet was too difficult. It just wasn't happening. So you've got this effect. Like I was in my own vacuum in Australia. Like I wasn't connected to the arcade community, just as you wouldn't have been in Denmark. It was just a film and there were names. That was it. But now there's so much knowledge out there that we can sort of borrow from. You would have watched Donkey Kong games and learned to play better. But when Steve Wiebe was doing it, he was literally and metaphorically just locked in a room, which was his garage. Like he was not locked in, but he was in a garage playing Donkey Kong. And the only people he could have reached out to were the people at Twin Galaxies. And when it came to things like Todd Rogers entering his own scores, well, of course they were entering their own scores. There was only half a dozen people who were doing this.
Exactly.
So it'd be like me, if you and I formed our own, club around some video games. Well, either I'm going to enter or you're going to enter. But now it's become so much bigger that to go back and look through it retrospectively is fair enough, but it's not comparable to now.
No. With the technology and everything, you just gotta prove it.
Yeah, the level of scrutiny is so much higher.
It really is.
And which is a good thing. But to go back and look through every game and play it's the level of relevance. If Steve, let's say hypothetically, Steve Wiebe, someone wants to dispute and say, if that's true, it's on an 8-way joystick and it's a double board. In the end, it wasn't. He played another one. But if someone argued, removing his score is not really going to affect the leaderboard that much.
He proved himself at the Kong off where he came from.
He can play.
During a million, no problem.
Yeah, on that, to make this clear, I don't doubt for a moment. I've watched Steve Wiebe play in his garage. I've seen him play at Kong off. The Kong off this year he killed the screen.
Yeah.
So there's no question
He won
there.
the Kong off, he got second. Did he win? Did he win?
Yeah.
He did. 1 year.
And last time I spoke to him, I don't think he's really playing at all. Just sort of.
Very close to that.
We're a bit, I was swinging a bit.
Your beautiful voice, Johnny.
Maybe we'll move the track down this way a bit, Johnny.
Let's do that.
There we go. Yeah, that's better. Sorry if we were getting a bit drifting away there. Oh, can you make close? Yeah, sorry about that. We're close to the mic now. Maybe actually, if you pop up for a second, Jonas, you pull yours towards the table that way.
All right.
Yeah, there we go. That's probably better. How's that? Say something now.
Just better.
It's better.
Should be better.
GS Trainer. I'm Phil Day. That's who I am, and this is Johnny Bond from Denmark. So, Johnny, Phil. Yeah. So no worries. Oh, great. Much better. Thanks, guys.
Awesome.
So Mike Coolican, he's trying to get back into the top 16. Luke Bushell pushed him out. Oh, sorry, we can keep talking about all that stuff, but I think
Yeah.
that was my
Oh,
view on it.
yeah.
What are
Oh,
your
yeah.
What are your feelings?
Oh, you can drag it out and keep. But the bottom line is he cheated, and
Oh,
Yeah,
and,
that's-
and
well,
what's done's
that's-
done.
yeah,
And
exactly.
now, and I think,
and now he's trying to prove himself.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Good on him, like,
just-
but it doesn't.
yeah, just go on from there.
Either you're on Team Billy or you're not. Like I have nothing against it, but it's still.
Yeah.
Never
Oh,
met the guy.
yeah, I enjoy his company. You know, it's not about that.
No, we called him a few times at the shed when we called him. And,
Yeah, it's good. But yeah, but anyway, there'll be a place for Billy in Arcade since Twin Galaxies won't take his scores. So once because they're going to relaunch Arcade, Galloping Ghost and Doc Mac, and when that happens, I'm sure Billy will make himself present there at some point and put a live score up like he has been. So there'll be a live
Billy always
leaderboard,
have a plan, right?
which will have a different respect, I think, a live leaderboard. Like we saw Armando Gonzalez playing his games live, and his recent world record, the marathon, although he didn't stream it live. No, what did he do then? No, he did. I'm trying to remember now. I'm confused. Yeah, we were watching it. We were watching it. Yeah, it was live, but there was no. Anyway, whatever. I can't remember now what happened. No, he didn't stream it on this. Anyway, the point is that Armando Gonzalez played all his games live, the tournament and marathon score, and therefore, if Arcade existed then, those scores would be tracked up there. So, to compete against those live scores on Galaga tournament of a 6 million score, and now a normal, what is it? Like he almost got 17 plus million, something like that. They're pretty solid live scores to chase, because if you want to go on Arcade, you can't submit. You've got to go and put it live.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's where Billy will find his new. And he was always a fan of live playing.
Exactly.
So
That's why it's a bit sad that
what
when
happened.
you find out the whole.
Yeah, it is disappointing.
Yeah, it really is.
So anyway, here we got Michael doing. Here he goes for the Weeby freebie, and I
He
like.
could be in trouble here. He's going to go for it. Paid off.
So there was an example of a bit of prior knowledge that had frozen.
Yeah, so you have to. You just know if you're going to make it or not. Really, you can't say it's going to last for 5 seconds, but you just have a gut feeling and you got to go.
So here we could have checked his pace score, but we didn't track everything accurately. Not to worry. The real thing is he going to get enough points to put himself back in? So he's really aiming for around the 200,000 points. This is Mike Bullock had just been.
Yep.
Oh, sorry, who else?
Now we have an install.
It'll be interesting to see if Mike does take that score, how quickly we'll see Luke Bush back on a machine. Who's J Mac? Do you know J Mac, Johnny?
No, I don't. No, I don't. That's a really great score. That's a good score.
Yeah. See, like that. I'm not saying that's cause for concern for Andrew, like Andrew Barrow, but a few more scores like that creeping in might cause concern.
Yeah, it would. Like it's really tough this year. Michael is asking if you can put that underneath here somewhere so people know where to see the full rankings.
Hi Phil, know who you are but didn't recognise you. Can you put that as a clicky under the video? Oh, they want to put my name under the video.
Or maybe he wants, can you put that, this match thing so we can see the scores, like
Oh, what's
below top 16?
Where's he want to put it?
I'm not sure, just somewhere on the screen here, maybe in the top or over here if you can fit it in. But I don't even know how to do that.
Oh, I see. So you can click on it to see the light.
Yeah.
I think the match play there, the shed.
Oh, Michael, it's already here at the top.
It's up at the top. It's just scrolling along. It says live scores at match play. If you look at the top of the screen, so scrolling this way, you can see it saying live score at match play events. I know it's not a clicky. Yeah, okay, it's not a click under the video. I'll have to talk to our technician. I'm not going to fiddle with all this wires and equipment. Yeah, so we'll look into it. No worries. We'll see if we can get that there as a click if people want to click on.
He just finished, unfortunately.
Not to worry.
So who's up next?
Not sure who's going to be on that. Maybe it'd be good to see Estelle get back on. I think he'd like to.
He said he's safe, so he didn't want to play anymore.
Oh, he said he's not going to play. Yeah. it'd be just good to see another game. But I wonder if also strategically, maybe people are trying to put themselves in a bracket.
Yeah, I haven't even thought about
See,
that.
yeah,
So right
you-
now I'm going against Sean Taxter.
Yeah, you'd be
I'm not
versus
too worried
Shane's.
about that.
Yeah, so the way it would sort of bracket out.
If you're going to win, it doesn't matter who you're going to go up against.
Well, it could be an argument. Putting yourself in the middle is probably a more dangerous thing to do.
Yeah, that actually would be dangerous because then you're going up against a guy who's just as good as you.
Yeah. See, so where you are, like you're going to be playing someone who's not, not getting half your score at the moment.
That's what I love about Donkey Kong.
Someone wants to, if we can put that as a clicky or something. Here, they want to try and put that as a click-on thing, but if it's a bit too tricky, don't worry about it. No, it's fine.
Sorry.
No. No, we're not doing
I want
that.
to came for Alan's game.
Someone's pulling. Richie Knuckles tampering with the machine, checking if it's maimed.
These stickers, no name.
So who are we watching now?
We are now watching
Where'd you go, Kai? Fuck yeah.
Tiki.
Kai just bumped out. He was at 17th place, and
Oh.
now he's up at place 12, 13.
Who's this?
Kai, Alan Stoll's son. He just got bumped out, so he's in like 17th place right now.
Oh, okay. I'm surprised I haven't seen Alan Stall back on a machine yet.
Oh, he is.
Oh, he's on one now, is he?
Oh, he just bumped out.
He just.
Hey, so take a look at this.
Hey, here we go. We've got the live feed happening, the direct feed happening. So Matt Tecchio.
So it needs a whole new joystick. You have to get downstairs.
Kai. Sorry, Kai. What's the score? What did you get? Good on you, mate.
Yeah, so Ty Stall, Alan Stall's son's 235. So that's
Moving into 12th place.
so it's putting Luke out. Yeah.
Now Luke is out. But he's already back on it, isn't he?
He's got some skills, as they say, with the Z, hasn't he? He's playing good. So Matt Tecchio, who's Matt Tecchio? Do you know Matt Tecchio?
No, I don't.
So he might be another local Brisbane boy.
It's either that guy.
Must be
that guy.
Oh, now he was Matt Tecchio was, I think, clearly a friend of Luke Bushell because he was, cheering him on and stuff.
yeah,
So they
so
might be two mates who know each other through Donkey Kong and have come together. So yeah, this could be a bit of an insight to sort of new talent.
Yeah, it could easily. Just want the best for everyone.
Oh yeah.
But it's exciting how close it is. John McNeil's going to be in trouble soon.
Well, I like seeing things broken, like scores broken. So
Oh,
it doesn't
same,
matter
same.
who's at the bottom.
Nah, me neither.
It's just good to see things shuffling around. I'm not going for anyone,
Nah, me neither.
I'm just.
It's everyone's game.
So look what's going on. Jeez, he's getting some points out of that.
Jimmy, gotta get this photo, mate.
Hang on, mate. Oh.
Alright. Twitch.tv/Netherworld.
Okay.
Netherworld, okay.
Here we go, Matt Tecchio. Hey, we can get his pace on this too, like we did with his buddy. Yeah, this will be good. So this was Bushell's cross. Roughly speaking, I don't remember exactly what's 800.
Oh my god. Oh, if Kai and Alan go head to head, that would be epic. Father versus son, that would be so much fun. Man, I hope that's gonna happen actually.
What would Alan do? Would he just throw it? I don't think so.
Nah.
Not even for his own son.
He's here to win.
So where are we at on this level? No, level 4. We've got a bit to go yet. Hey, Jimmy's left us with this on the screen.
All right. I was saying earlier that Michael, he doesn't play much, but he's actually the second best in the world at several arcade games like Escape from the Planet of the Robot Monsters and New Zealand Story.
Oh, this is
So he's actually a decent player.
Matt Tecchio.
No, it was Michael who owns the shit in Denmark. I was
Oh,
saying he
okay.
doesn't play much,
Sorry,
but-
yeah. So he corrected you.
Yeah, he's actually a really good gamer. Sorry, Michael, sorry.
The reason we're looking up out of the screen now
Oh, yeah.
is that we've got a projection up here because one of the techs is doing something, or Jimmy's doing something on the screen here. And also, I'm blind in my left eye.
Oh, you are?
So often, if I'm not looking at you while I'm talking, it's not like I'm disregarding what
My
you're
brother's
saying.
blind in his left eye.
Jimmy! I'm too scared to fiddle with this, but which one of these is
We can push it. It's OBS.
that one, is it?
the one,
that's
yep.
it. There we go. I don't want to do any wrongs here. So we'll get this pace organised for Tecchio.
He's actually in a really good pace.
It's interesting that people.
What's up? Who's playing right now? Because it's not
Over
that
here.
guy over there. No, because he's at the Pie Factory. Only the top score over there is 700.
Oh, so that's not who we're thinking of. So, not because we don't know who Matt Tecchio is. So.
Do you know which machine Shane played on? Because it's
Video capture.
Shane. He did 646,000. Do you know what machine that was?
Hey Jimmy, what machine is this here we're looking at? That one. Oh, over there. I see. Okay. Do you know Matt Tecchio?
No, he's from Melbourne.
He's from Melbourne. Oh, okay. All right. Here we go, Matt Tecchio. See, like
It's a killer pace. That's actually really good. I'm looking forward to see the score after the next level.
well, see, this is what I'm like Matt Tecchio. Oh yeah, he has a score here at 271.
That's it.
So I wonder. I mean, I'm guessing he has a personal best that might be quite a bit higher than that.
Oh, I bet. But the funny thing is, he's not even. Oh, he's up here 271.
So I wonder what he's really pushing for here. Like, is he going to be someone who might upset J Mac and Estelle?
But the way he's playing, he could. I think he's
Joystick. Otherwise, you
capable
can see the
of a much higher score than that. Because getting 100,000
We get
start, that's a lot. Like we saw before,
Yeah.
that bloke only did 90.
yeah, it's just the welts just cracked right off. You can see.
So we're going to give you our pace on this one. So his start score, as he enters level 5 is 103,000 on the dot,
You got some kind of JD weld. You got
which Johnny tells me is a very good
We
score.
don't have any
Oh, it
any
is,
more
it is.
like Mike's Arcade joysticks laying around.
Where do we see top players like Wes Copeland, Dean Sagler? What's their start scores?
That's around 140.
140. Yeah. Wow. So you've got to wonder where those points come from, haven't you?
Yeah, Phil, he's Phil Trudeau's, he did 150. Start score, and that's the best ever.
Whose is this?
Phil Trudeau's.
I don't know.
There's like a saying when you get a free pass on the ribbon board, you say "got him, Phil," because that's like a Donkey Kong term when you're free, when you got the fireballs and you can actually finish the stage. So you always say "got him, Phil."
Why
It's just-
Phil?
Because Phil Trudeau's is just a man.
Phil to go.
Phil Trudeau's, he's retired now.
Oh, how do you spell his last name?
T-U-O. Trudeau's, D-O. No, I wouldn't even know.
But he's a DK player.
Yeah, he's one of the best in the world, but he's retired. He's a 1.1 million player.
Oh, yeah. So it's Phil to go is a phrase that to use like good to go.
Yeah, you could actually, yeah. There it is, Phil Trudeau's.
Oh yeah,
he's the man.
Phil to doze. Oh, Phil to
So
doze.
we still have the highest start score.
So it was 150,000.
Yeah, not even Robbie or Wes can do that.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
haven't done it yet. Oh my god.
Oh,
Jump, mate!
talent! Oh, wow! Look at that.
Oh no! Oh my god.
Wow. right, so 150. You've got to wonder where those points are, haven't you? 50,000 points.
Milk it all. Like it's just. But you have to have so much luck involved.
So what's he doing now? Is he still playing any games? Phil Tador?
Nah, I think he's
Filtered those?
retired. What's his play? What's his play now? I think he moved on. Maybe play some Zelda or something. I would know.
Zelda?
We got Brian Allen in the chat
Oh, Brian Allen.
and Kerry. Just Dance Revolution. James.
We were talking about Brian Allen and the Allen off before. So he will. Now Alan Stall says he doesn't like point pressing on this. Just going over and coming back is quite difficult.
It is. It really is. Like if you want to go over and grab the bag after level 4, it's not worth it. Like you have to go on the right spring. It's just not worth it.
So unless you're really going for world records, why bother?
There's no point in doing it, to be honest.
So what he's waiting for is that long spring, you know.
Yeah, that's the one that lands right in the yellow.
Yeah,
That's the
there
one.
he goes. And up he is. Yeah, so if those who, I imagine a lot of you already know that, but if it's the spring that lands right on that yellow crank or whatever it is on the elevator,
Yeah, just between
the gear mechanism or whatever it is. Come back next time. So we've got to get this score at the end here.
Yep.
And we'll be able to use our calculator because I can't do it in my brain.
Me neither.
Sorry, you still got to do the rivets yet. And so I don't get too distracted, but Monday is also a big day here at Netherworld. What's casually referred to as World Record Monday.
Where's that?
Here.
Oh, right.
On Monday, because last
yes,
year,
true, that's true, yes.
the Netherworld closes to the public and the players come in and if they wish. So we've got Kibby's going to go for the arcade nibbler attempt at marathon. He doesn't expect to get the world record, but it's his first run on a cabinet at the world record. He has the main world record at the moment. And there's the Space Off. Knuckles and Tannehill are going to go head-to-head on the Space Invaders. And then we've got... Oh, talent. And then we've got possibly, so I don't want to put his hand up for it, but just because whether Barrow can be bothered to play Gallagher again, you know.
Fingers crossed. I would love to see that. I really hope he will.
Yeah, because I think that for me, I'd like to see him at least put a score up on to submit to Twin Galaxies that accurately reflects his score. Like his 3.5 million isn't the demonstration of his true ability. Like he's really he's a 4 million point plus player.
He can't get that record. Like I just don't think he decided that much more.
I think he's got to get the final score 146. I think it was. We'll say it was 146.
Oh yeah, 146.
We'll say it was one. He jumped a couple of barrels there, so that was 146.
So that wasn't even. He actually did better, but he lost a man.
Yeah.
He lost a life.
Yeah. So 146. So so therefore it's 43 is what we're timing. Yeah. So there is something about losing a life that I don't think we did accurately last time, but here it really works quite accurately because if you lose a life, it changes the algorithm, doesn't it?
It really does, yeah. You gain more points and... he's on fire. Matt, he's on fire.
So you'll be around for the Monday game then, won't you?
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah.
I'll stick around till Tuesday. I want to see Kibby get a billion on Nibbler.
Unfortunately, I won't be here. I can't.
When are you flying back?
Monday morning, really early flight.
Who's going to do the commentary then?
There'll be no commentary on Monday. Well, you could do it.
Oh shit, he's in trouble now. No?
Did I do that right? I must. Is that accurate? I just
Times how many levels did we?
16, wasn't it?
16, yep.
let me try that again. Just so we got
47 times 16.
40.
What's it? 47,000.
43, isn't it? Because we got
43, all right.
43,000.
43, yes.
43,000 times 16, wasn't it?
Yes.
16 equals 60.
Plus the 103.
Yeah. Plus 103,000. I thought something must have been wrong. So 791 is paces. That's his theoretical top score.
Yep.
He could easily get more.
Since you haven't died yet, you can easily take, let's say, 3,000 per life. And you can have 4 lives in total. So that's another 12,000 on top of that.
So Johnny's saying plus another 12,000 because his lives aren't gone, brings him to 803,000. So that's another version of it. Either way, a solid score.
It is, it really is.
Yeah, so Monday will be pretty exciting, I think. For
Oh, it most definitely will. And it's close to the public, like you said, so.
I think they'll stream stuff. I think they might stream the Nibbler game.
Yep.
They might stream a few things, but I don't think they're going to have all this set up for commentary or whatever. They'll probably be pulling all this apart, ready for some other thing through the week, while they're playing.
Yeah.
How many DK cabs? Yeah, we've got 8 cabs here.
Actually 9 with the one for the public.
Oh one more. But it's not wired up at all.
You can still play it, but it's mostly for the guys who's
Yeah.
not that serious about it. And it's an LCD screen as well.
Yeah,
But the
how
board
you,
is
what,
legit.
you don't mind LCD? Barra doesn't mind LCD.
Not me neither, that's what I'm used to playing at home. But
It's
I
not
really
certainly
enjoy
sharp.
the real deal.
There's a warmth to that colour on the Rasker screens, isn't there?
Yeah, right, just a different feeling. I might get someone to take my place. 'Cause
Yeah,
I'm
no worries.
gonna go for a
Yeah,
week.
yeah, you go for it, man. If you see Barrow on your travels, send him up.
I'll do that.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Thanks, Phil.
Or
It's a fucking pleasure.
Or Kiwi, yeah. Oh, you'll be back on again at some point. Yeah, but or if you even find Barrow for me, see if he's around, send him up. That'd be good.
I'm gonna order a pint, so.
I want. Yeah, that's where he'll be at the bar. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Johnny Bond shedding some light on the game. Hey, Johnny. Left his wallet behind. Oh, is that your phone?
Yeah, I need to plug in the charger somewhere. Can you do that? Thank you, mate.
Yeah, Johnny Bond giving some insight, which was good. Insight to the game. Yeah, and this Matt Tecchio game's pretty entertaining. So what's this? There's a few questions here coming through. As much as they can do today, qualified top 16. Yeah, I've missed some of those comments. Not sure what you guys are talking about there. So I think quite entertained by this game, just to see where Matt Tecchio can actually get to. And he's a local in the sense of Australia, but he's actually from Melbourne. Ooh, aggressive little fireball chasing Matt around. I guess these are the things you don't see if you don't play strong enough. Like, I guess if you don't have the ability to reach these high levels, because I've heard other Donkey Kong players talk about how aggressive the fireballs become and how fast the springs move. So as we see players climb up, we see a very different type of Donkey Kong game being delivered. And I guess in a tournament like this, in a Kong-Off, there isn't as much want to do any sort of too much steering of the barrels to gain points. It's probably just more about, like we can see even there, throwing the barrels away, which is throwing points away really. Better to just stay alive and put a good score up. But if we were, I assume, watching someone really point pressing here, those barrels would be collected and jumped, and so must be quite something else to watch those top players perform like that, grouping barrels together. And this is the Weeby freebie as we keep talking about. You sort of feel glad when they get it, just see them cruise through. Yeah, someone's playing Point Blank in the background, hammering away. So AJF Clark's obviously an arcade person to recognise that sound. It's a great game, that one. It's a lot of fun. Sober or drunk, it's a great game. Don't know if you can see there on the board, in the bottom left-hand corner there, we've got on the screen there, we've got a machine that's getting some work done on it. I think there's been some errors with the joystick. People requesting it for it to be replaced. I'll have a swap over soon. But I'm all right for now. I just want to see if I can get Andrew Barrow over here or something. Yeah. Actually, Jimmy, have you got a minute to sit here for a second? I'll be back shortly.
Hey mates, everyone on the chat, thanks for watching today. Things are going pretty good. I've got one of the direct feeds going, but I'm just keeping an eye on it for glitching. It did crash the computer about an hour and a half ago. So hopefully we don't get any more of that. What else has happened? We've had the number 5 cab down here, which next to where Aaron is playing, the weld, one of the control panel plates, no, the joystick plate weld snapped off. So we pulled that out. That cab's out for the rest of today, but obviously I'm going to need all 8 cabs for tomorrow for finals, so Dave's going to take it home and weld it up tonight. Yeah, Matt's playing well. Matt Tecchio on the direct feed on cab 1. I wonder if I can pop the room shot to the other side so you can see him. Oh, can you see him? Yeah, you can kind of see him anyway. Hey man, hello, who's that there? Yeah man, please. There may be a change of dates. I don't know yet. It might be earlier in the year just because it might outgrow Netherworld. But if that's the case, it'll be announced. If we decide to do that, I'll probably announce it like in 2 weeks or within a month, just so everybody knows. I hope it outgrows Netherworld. I have a couple of other spaces where we could do this, so I don't know how many scores we've been put in today, but last year we had 42 players. Hello, Fiendgid. What's up, dude? What's up? So Rob McCauley's here. I don't know if you guys know Rob. Rob loads a lot of MAME world records. He's also one of the best pinballers in the country. He beat me a couple of years ago, my biggest chance to win a major, and I lost to Rob in the final. But he's a lovely dude up from Adelaide. Rob is awesome. Yeah, it'll be in your summer there, Carries. It definitely will be in your summer if I move it. I could potentially move it to mid-August, but I'll let you know. He will Burger Time, but though so will... yeah, that is a shame. Rob is a good dude. It's great. Oh, see how that screen just glitched on me? Just gonna have to keep an eye on that. Alan Stahl is actually playing on cab 4, so we could always bounce to that if this direct feed keeps playing up. Yeah. I'm a little worried about that. Everyone is drinking VB.
What we got going on, Jimbo?
Everybody, this is Ben. Say
G'day,
hi,
mates.
Ben.
Hello.
Yeah, the last 15 minutes. All right, I think I'm going to try and can it and get Alan up if I can.
What have you done?
Oh, I don't know. Pinch myself. Let's see if I can get Alan's game up. Let's have a squeeze. Is that Alan? Yeah, I think that is Alan's game. No, it's not. Did he just finish?
He's not doing anything over there.
Oh, hang on, let me go.
Oh, no, he's still going. You're looking for a rivet stage. That'll be the
Is
one.
that him?
Yep.
All right, so I think we can bounce to Alan.
Upside down, but
All right, if
You wanna-
that's
you wanna-
Alan, yeah, you need to.
down a little bit, or
Yeah. So I'm going to get rid of the direct feed because it's going to crash the computer. Yeah, if that's Alan.
We're gonna wait till
just
he's,
not-
we're gonna wait till he's
oh,
between
wait.
levels.
I wish I could have done better for you.
Bro.
Scott welds, that's a little hard to fix. Sorry.
Let's pop out of studio. I'm pretty sure we've got Alan on this screen now.
Yes.
Yeah, we do. We do. Great. Awesome. Let's get a kill screen, Alan. For the boys, for the fans.
Do we know who Jane Abbey is?
Yeah, the gentleman there in the no sleeve top with the hood on, just here. Right here. He's from Melbourne. Nice, get a new face, Dark Horse. Lovely. You can look up here. Maybe a bit further.
Alan Stahl. Yep.
Yeah! Beautiful. All right. Oh, all right, I need to...
Take off autofocus.
Yes, thank you. Oh, baby. Everyone can see Alan's muscular hands as well. What a day. What a dream.
What a treat.
Yeah, they are. They're quite muscular hands.
What a dream that is for all
I
of you.
picked him up earlier and cracked his back.
Wow.
Did you?
Yeah,
That's
Wow.
difficult. He's quite a large man.
it was hard to get my arms around him
Wow.
completely, but I did it. Lifted him off the ground and everything.
Fantastic.
And everything. Cracked his back. Bloody cracked it into pieces.
I want to see you lift him. I want him to get a kill screen. And,
Yeah, I'll put him up on my shoulders.
Yeah, you can do it. I believe you can
I
do it.
can do it.
Yeah.
Alan's got a necklace that is just a bell bar, like
Beautiful.
a
It's famous.
weightlifting
That thing,
to
that
put
thing
up.
deserves its own card.
Absolutely.
His chair's got a card. That necklace definitely should. Oh man.
How'd your run go, Richie?
I was playing on the machine with the broken joystick and did pretty good. 333.
Cool. You get another run today?
No, I didn't
Oh,
bring
yeah,
a
I'm
shower
gonna play
chair. I
again.
wish he had have.
I'm gonna play again.
I got chairs in. Like, we hired chairs for everyone. We could have just bought 8 shower chairs. That would have been just as entertaining.
Absolutely.
Alan's looking good. Level 6. Yeah.
So I have to put up another score because I want to make the top 8. Because
Yeah.
I'm the one who fought for the top 8.
Yeah.
So I
You
have
got
to
it.
make top 8.
Yeah, we do.
I wish we could take a pan off of something else and put it on that because that's the best machine. It's a
Yeah.
really nice machine.
Yeah, okay.
So Alan's doing pretty well. He's got a full set of loads.
Yeah, he's got a full set of lives at 150.
And he's on level 6. Cool.
So,
Does Alan play any other game other than Donkey Kong? because it's been probably close to 12 years I've been watching him play Donkey Kong. Yeah.
Well, I think Jack was telling me, Jack works as a software engineer, and he, hey, Faithy!
Hey, honey.
What's up, Faithy? Hi!
There you are.
How you doing? Hey, mate. Lovely to
That's
see
Jimmy.
you.
He's the owner of the bar. This is
Hey,
Ben,
mate.
the other
G'day, mate.
proprietor.
How you doing?
So we're sitting here. Look what we're doing, Faithy. Look.
In the chat, mate.
Where's the camera?
Up here. Get her, it'll just catch her. Faithy's on the street.
What, honey?
Yeah.
Oh, you can't see, poor connection? All right, I'll try to go outside to find you. Hold on. Okay, I'll be back.
Okay.
Oh no, Alan.
What was that? How did he die there?
Spring. Got sprung.
Oh, I
sprung.
I looked and thought he was just on the rivets or something.
He went. He backtracked. He thought it was too dangerous. Then he went for one. It didn't work out.
Bring down. So I have been spitballing the idea with people about incorporating this into Ekka.
Yeah. All right. Middle. Middle.
Get it. Get it. Come on.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, yeah. Nice, Alan. Let's have a look at.
Good morning. So we can get the guys for a Battle of the Arcades photo. Can you switch you in and jump in a second with them? Is that what do you want to do, son? I'm going to get these two for a photo with the. Can we still use two for
Yeah, man, if-
Battle of the Arcades?
Yeah.
With the trophy?
We'll jump in.
Oh, yeah.
I think we're all ready for a photo. If you guys are.
Yeah, man, I'm ready.
So we're there. Oh, let me get my camera. I'll be right back.
Alright. Just going to tap out. We're going to do a photo for the Battle of the Arcades team.
Sorry guys, me again. Yeah, it's a good looking trophy. Got a mouthful of food. I was hoping to get Andrew Barrow over here, and he's gone back for a nap or something. He's gone back to the hotel. Hi, Harry. Well, it's not summer; it's warm here, but it's summer is officially December, but it's November, and they I think they do it at the same time every year. But you're probably you're talking about your summer. I'm not sure which summer you're talking about anyway. So Alan Stall's hopped back on. I was quite keen to see how Matt Tecchio was going. He's putting a solid score up. Hi guys. The Man in the Moon is upside down and so are the season. So Alan, I was surprised to see Alan back on the machine. I thought he'd come back later, but I didn't think he'd come back so early as this. So what time is it now? 3:30, so that they're able to play till 9 o'clock. I was quite interested in seeing the Matt Tecchio game. I'd rather see what's going on there at the moment. See what's happening. Oh, it was glitching out a bit, was it? We have 8 cabinets here. And they're all wired up, but we've got one that's being repaired at the moment. A joystick's broken or something or other, so it's been removed. Well, they removed the joystick part of it. I'm just trying to fix it up. I don't think Alan will be very pleased with this game compared to his last one. But who knows, maybe it's just a warm-up game. He's hopped on. He's down to his last man at 200,000 points. But he doesn't have anything to worry about as far as previous scores. At 722 comes Richie.
So I'm back, mate.
Hey, Richie. Just watching Alan play. I was just saying I don't think he's going to be too excited about this score considering his first game, but maybe it's just a bit of a warm-up game.
Yeah, he was doing really well. He had all his men, and he choked on. He didn't reverse on a long spring, a second long spring, and I guess that really knocked him out of his game.
Yeah.
Because that's a simple mistake that you shouldn't make when you're at his level.
Yeah. But he'd be very happy. I know he's very happy with his score. He's sitting in second position.
Yes. I think he wants the money for the first kill screen is what it is.
But there's a couple of players here who've come to my team. One is Luke Bushell and Matt Tecchio. Matt Tecchio is playing over here on cabinet 1. And we had him on before, but we can't see where he's at now. But he's playing, and I had Johnny Bond on, and we were both looking at their paces they like to talk about. I think he got to his level 5 with 103,000 points. Matt Tecchio did. So it'd be interesting to see where this bottom order falls. People like Luke Bushell was at 16, but he's been pushed out, so he's back on playing over here on cabinet. What a 7. So I'm sure he'll want to try and get a score of 200,000 more to get himself back in. And Matt Tecchio is at 271, but I think he's already bettered that score when I walked past.
I'm going to tell Alan I want next on that cabinet. I'm right back.
Why do you want that cabinet?
It's so nice. It plays just like the American cabinet.
It's interesting, these players have their favourite cabinets.
I've got to better my score. I didn't realize I was out of 8th.
What happened? You're what?
I got knocked out of 8th.
Oh, yeah, you're at 9th.
Because I argued with Jimmy. I said it should be top 8, not top 16.
Yeah.
And I stand corrected. It makes it, because there's so many people here that would have been excluded.
Yeah.
And now the 16, it makes them still have something to shoot for.
Yeah, keeps people in the game.
Yeah. So, Jimmy, you were correct. I was wrong. In this environment, 16 is much better. You were correct. You were right. I was wrong.
Yeah, that top 16. We'd have a whole bunch of players who might feel already bumped out. What's the point to keep playing?
Yeah, what's the point?
Like Andrew Barrow, he's gone for now. Like he'll probably come back later and put another squat. Who knows? But he doesn't really have to at this point.
Yeah.
And so you'd see a bunch of players who may not be competing so heavily for that bottom 8.
It definitely took the pressure off of the big players. Like guys like Ethan Daniels could come in and just put up an 848 and walk away.
Yeah.
Now he could just focus on tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, I can't. I mean, maybe Ethan will have another game just for the hell of it.
Yeah. I'm shocked he's not here trying for a kill screen because that's good money.
Well, he said, when he fell short, he said his plans were always going to be give it $250 over the bar anyway.
Oh yes,
yes.
That's what he's going to do. He does well. He owns his own barbershop back home in Pennsylvania.
Oh, nice one.
So he's a hairdresser, barber, and a really good one.
Oh, good one.
So
And how's your arcade going, Richie?
it's not. We're not open yet. We should be open soon.
There's a Donkey Kong Kill String coming out if anyone's interested.
Good one. He's pretty late to the game, eh?
So it's not open at the moment?
No, I had a place that we opened, and we got shut down on opening day.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so that put me in quite a financial hole. But then another guy came out of the woodwork and offered me another building for an offer I couldn't refuse. So he moved everything over there.
Oh, nice.
Another 20 minutes. So we could have been opened last weekend, but because of me coming here, we postponed it, which is quite frustrating for my buddy. But
And how many cabinets have you, how many games on the floor?
we're going to maintain 100 at all times.
Oh, wow.
So 25 pins, 75 arcade games at all times.
Yeah. That's a lot of games.
I have a good selection in storage as well.
So you can
So
rotate
if something,
if you're
yeah,
around
so if
there.
something goes down, we could just put it in the back room and bring a new one in its place.
Let's try and guess I'm going to try and guess what you're putting on the floor, okay? Let's see if I can guess of those 75, right? Let's see. So Donkey Kong. Let's go through the obvious ones. Pac-Man, Defender, Gallagher, Robotron, Tempest, Xevious, you will, because you've got that nice Xevious machine. And then we're going to have, what else we got? Do you have a Crazy Climber?
I have one that won't be on the floor right away because the cabinet is beat, but I do have a Crazy Climber.
And you'd have it on there otherwise?
If it was in better aesthetic condition, yes.
Pole position will be on there, of course.
Oh, of course. I have a
Got it.
home use only pole.
Space Invaders, how could I not? So Space Invaders will be
Space
on there,
Invaders,
obviously.
of course.
Here's a couple I'll be curious. Mapping?
No.
No. I thought it might be a no. What about Zaxxon?
Yes, of course.
Oh, right. So
Yes.
that's
I like Zaxxon,
That's
yes.
a love-hate game for many people.
I
was
like
just
it.
curious. Yeah. What about, you have an ice cold beer?
Uh-huh.
That'll be on there.
That'll be on the floor.
What about Scramble?
Yep. The nicest scramble on the face of the earth.
It's a great game, Scramble. It doesn't get the attention it deserves, I reckon. That's
Yep.
a good game. Here's one I reckon, I'll be just curious, Will.
They didn't even put Scramble on Deadpool.
They didn't put...
And you know how Deadpool, on the screen, it has Berserk and Frenzy?
What
Deadpool the pinball.
Oh.
Stern's latest pinball
This is for the film.
is Deadpool.
Yeah.
Up on the screen, while Deadpool is fighting, in the background are two Stern arcade cabinets because Stern pinball.
Yeah.
But they chose Berserk and Frenzy. Now Frenzy, don't get me wrong, but Frenzy's like a Z-list game.
Yeah,
Why wouldn't they
never
put
played
Scramble
it.
instead of Berserk?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
they decided to put Berserk and
Well, that
Frenzy.
was what I was going to ask. Are you going to have a Berserk on the floor?
Oh yeah, they have a Berserk.
Because it doesn't get much attention in a competitive sense, though, does it?
No, not really, but it does get a lot of play. People do love Berserk.
I used to like playing, but I've talked to Joel West about it, and I wondered why. I mean, he's got such a big score on it, but I've wondered why it's not got the attention. But it's quite an analytically, like it's. You just have to be very accurate on it. Like it doesn't. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not a very forgiving game. I used to love playing as a kid.
Oh, I love it too.
But you can't get on there and wail away. It's like it's a bit like Space Invaders in a way, isn't it? You have to be spot on. What about Ghosts and Goblins? Was that very big in the US?
No, I have one, but that will not be on the floor to start.
So I'm just watching this bit of game. What's he going to do here?
I may be getting ready. He
he's
worked
done
it out.
Figured it
I was
out.
about to go take my seat. That was really good. Garrett!
What about Burger Time?
I have one, but it won't be on the floor.
See, some of these games aren't even ones I've ever played, like Burger Time. These are just ones I've come to know. I mean, what about Miss Pac-Man? You got to have a Miss Pac-Man.
Uh-huh.
People want to play Miss Pac-Man. What about Donkey Kong 3, Donkey Kong Jr.?
Donkey Kong Jr., yes. Donkey Kong 3, no.
Why is that? You just don't like it? Or
I just
have
don't
it?
like it.
Yeah. So a lot of it is personally what you like. What
Yes.
So like Frogger. You going Frogger?
No. We have one multicade that I think Frogger plays well in, but because of real estate, I have a dedicated Frogger, but that won't go out right away.
But I would have thought Frogger would have made some money for you though.
And it has nothing to do with money. We do a flat rate.
Oh, I see. Yeah. So what is your rate?
I think it's going to be $10 an hour.
Yeah. And they're all just set to free play.
Yep.
So when are you going to sell your Robotron?
What?
When are you going to sell your Robotron?
When am I going to sell it? Oh.
Because you've got a pretty good Robotron machine.
Yeah,
haven't
very
you,
nice
Cabs?
Robotron,
Yeah.
yes.
Do you play much Robotron?
I-
I'm always talking about
I play
Robotron.
it. I'm not good at it.
Yeah, well, there's a
But
few
I
are
play it.
good at it.
No, a lot of people are good at Robotron. Put it this way, almost everybody's better than me at it. But I like it.
That's a great game.
It's total chaos.
Galaxian? Do you have Galaxian out there?
No, I don't even have a Galaxy.
You just hate the game?
No!
Oh, right.
Just sold the only one I had and never got it back.
Yeah. It's a hard game, isn't it?
Yeah. I used to like it as a kid.
But do you, because you're a funny guy, you play Space Invaders and you play Pole Position and you play Zaxxon. And what's the score?
Phoenix, I
Phoenix.
play.
Yeah, and you're strong. I mean, I can see the relationship between Phoenix and Space Invaders.
And Space
Kind
Fury,
of.
I have the world record on
Yeah,
Space Fury as well.
But Pole Position's another skill set, and so is Donkey Kong.
Yeah, totally different.
But how hard is Galaxian? Man, I find that a
Yeah,
hard
very
game.
hard.
It's a really hard game.
I play Gorf a lot.
Oh,
And
yeah.
My least favorite part of Gorf is the Galaxy.
Yeah, my least favourite part of golf is the control stick when you play them on a dedicated one, which I only played in the US, that big chunky kind of thing you play
Yeah,
on.
yeah, I like it. The flight stick.
Walter Day was a pretty good golf player, wasn't he?
Yeah, and Wizard of War.
And what?
Wizard of War.
Oh, Wizard of War.
He's really good at that too.
What about a gauntlet? You got a gauntlet in there?
Yeah, I have a beautiful gauntlet. Really, really nice condition.
Hey, what about, I mean, I'm not suspect you have it there, but what about Rygar?
No,
Was that very popular in the US? It was very popular here.
I don't even know it.
Oh, yeah, it was common in Australia, Rygar.
Was it like R-type game, or is it, what is it like?
It was like Ghost and Goblins, you know,
Oh.
a platformer, you run along,
thank you.
slaying stuff. Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. I put my water. Oh, there it is. There.
This is my own special drink they have here at the Netherworld. It's called the Jersey Devil, aka a Richie Knuckles.
All right. What is it?
It's basically an old fashioned, but they put maple syrup in it and some other secret ingredients.
Secret that you don't know or you won't tell.
I don't know.
Like it's laced with cocaine or something, you know. Yeah, Alan's sort of settled into this with no men remaining.
He knows I want to play.
Yeah, he's just been stubborn, you think. I'm curious what Matt Caccio's score is over there. Cabinet number one. His name's Matt. That Curtis cabinet. What's the score? $400.
200 on 10 ribbon.
Oh, okay. How many men has he got left? Did you see? Oh, last man. So Matt Tecchio, that game I was mentioning, is on 400,000. So that's gonna. I think he said 4,200. So he could. He's in range. I mean,
He's going to knock me down another point.
oh, and everyone else below. But yeah, like it. So
I got to get on that game. Alan, I just got knocked out. Come on, what are you doing? Bloody let the game die.
nah, see.
I got to get you back on. Alan, you bloody wanker.
Is that your best Australian accent? Oh, that must have been Matt Tecchio's game, maybe. Look at Alan Stall, point pressing like a king.
Alan Stall is the king. When this event was created, everybody in the United States thought Alan Stall would be the one to win it.
And he did.
He didn't.
No, I know he didn't.
No.
Shane,
Sean.
Shane, yes.
Shane. I always call him Sean. I gotta
That's
stop
it.
doing that.
Shane Saul. Shane put a good score up today.
And Shane's a Class A player.
Oh yeah.
Who's your prediction for win?
Oh, look, I don't know it as well as you guys, and I even think if you did know it that well, like the players in there.
The winner of the Commonwealth will be Ethan Daniels.
You're saying that?
Yeah.
Why is that?
100%. Just
Why-
because he's grace under pressure.
Oh, okay.
What?
Danny Fazackley.
Yeah, Danny Fazackley.
I just put 12,000% under, mate, so...
Yeah, look out.
You're a bloody competitor.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
That's why I got to get back on. Alan won't let me back on my machine.
This is the good one. It just doesn't have a control panel. Hey, what happened to it?
It broke. Well,
You broke it.
yeah, he did break it.
No, it was broken when I sat down.
But when you started?
Yeah, the guy that got off it was like, you don't want to use this, it doesn't work. And I was like, I don't want to wait to play.
Yeah.
I'm going to sit down and drop a coin. And then it just went. And I was like, all right.
No,
Alan
the
Stall on his
actual-
last
the actual
man.
metal-
Richie Knuckles is pretty keen to get on that machine.
I thought the four-way plate was
And once
It was.
Is that what it was?
But it's not an original stick. It was a reproduction stick, so it's a totally different construction. But the spot welds snapped.
Who's saying that? Phil, is there? If Andrew Laidlaw on his Alan's show
How did I get that far?
and his Alan's show, are you really going to sock him in the face this time? Who's saying that? Who's saying this?
What?
Birdman's asking if I'm going to punch Andrew Laidlaw in the face about something.
What's up, mate?
I don't think Andrew Laidlaw's showing up.
Very good. How are you, sir? Of course.
Thank you so much.
Who is that anyway? Who is Birdman? Who's
Thank you so
Birdman?
much.
You're welcome.
Have a nice one.
What's your name?
Scott Benning's my name. Scott.
Are we friends on Facebook?
So we'll be. We'll be now.
Yes,
we'll be now.
please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a look and
Go, Alan.
the downstairs of our house has got all the arcade games.
Oh,
in it, so
fantastic. Let's get a picture. Let's get a picture.
What? Tell the story about Andrew Laidlaw
we'll
and
have
me.
to put some photos up there so you can have a look. Yeah.
Ah, Tanner.
Oh, will you take a, you take a shot for me?
Yeah, no worries, buddy. Sorry, guys. Just gotta. Yeah, all in there. Hang on. And actually, I'll get the DK barrel. There we go. It's even better. Stay there for a second. I took a few. Oh, actually, my knuckle,
awesome.
my knuckle was in the way. There we go.
All right.
See, you can
Have a great time in Australia.
don't waste it. So I had to take a photo. Oh, Tanner, so I don't have to tell the story. You know exactly what we're talking about. Sorry, Tanner.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anyway, he's not. He won't be turning up. Yeah, just on the game here, Alan Stall is still sitting on his last man, but he's currently in second place. And this is just for bracketing, of course. How high can Alan go? Alan get? So he's already got a solid score up, but Richie's pretty keen to kicking off the machine because he wants to.
I don't know why he won't get off the machine.
Because Richie's been bumped out of the top 8, and Richie wants to sit in that. Even though it's really just the top 16 we need for tomorrow, he likes the idea of being in the top 8. But there's some more scores that have got to be put up. Matt Tecchio's got to go up. He's going from 200. What's Matt Tecchio's score, Ben? Jimmy, sorry. What's Matt Tecchio's score? What did he get? 402. 8, yeah. So Matt Tecchio's moving up to 402, so he'll go up to 8 rank. Yeah, a bit of a shuffle around there. So hopefully you see a few of the high scorers, like the top high scorers there, the 600 plus scorers, and even ones who aren't, like Andrew Barrow, who can score much higher. Be good to see some of those guys put another game in. And of course, if Stell confident, be good to see him play one more. But I'm not sure if they're just holding back, just until it's a bit quieter tonight, or they're just holding back because they don't feel they need to play. But Alan Stall didn't have such a good start to this game, but he's going to have a solid finish by the looks of it. I didn't think he was going to get this far in. And Richie in the background there, glued to his screen.
Fifi texted me again, so I'm trying to find her a picture of something funny.
Oh, okay. Do you want to get up here, Reece? Feel like having a chat?
You kicking me out?
Yeah, if you're not going to talk, yeah, you can get out, Richie.
Okay. To everyone out there watching,
Hey, Matt.
have a great time. Enjoy.
Actually, I'm going to get Matt on. Yeah. Come on for a second.
You want to talk to me?
Yeah.
I can do that.
Sorry, I thought you were busy doing something else.
How's it going?
Yeah, good. Hi, Matt. How are you?
Yeah,
Now, Matt,
it's nice
we
to
were,
meet you.
we were yeah, too. We were talking about your game early on, but when I went off for a break, it got moved. Now, Matt Tecchio just put up. I don't think it's just been put in now, so he's going to move from 10th to 8th. I think that's right. So you're in the top 8. Yeah. So but there's a few people who are here today. Matt, you're one of them. The other one was Luke Bushell.
Yep.
So we were doing your pace score. You were on a pace for 790, well,
Okay.
813,000.
Oh, okay.
And Johnny Bond was very impressed by your level 5 start. So, where are you coming from, Matt? You
I'm
must be-
from Melbourne.
Yeah, I heard you're from Melbourne, but you've been playing Donkey Kong a little bit though.
Yeah, about 6 or 7 months.
Yeah.
I've been playing. I was really into Pac-Man for a while. And the thing I found with Pac-Man is the moment I stopped playing, I stopped remembering patterns.
Oh, right,
so
yeah,
my
yeah.
brain's not very good. And the thing I love about Donkey Kong is it's random as hell.
Yeah, it's pretty. I think, I mean, I've said it before, but I think Pac-Man is kind of because it's all been done, it becomes quite a textball game. You know,
Yeah, very much.
I'm blind in my left eye, Matt, so if I stop turning around, that's why. So,
That's
so I
fine,
won't be
mate.
ignoring you. It's just I am actually blind in my left eye. Yeah, I think Pac-Man's one of those games that isn't going to draw that much attention, for future players in competitive ways. People still play it, but competitively, like it's really just doing what others have already done.
Competitive wise, it's not a game anymore.
Yeah, I don't think so either. So you've turned your attention to Donkey Kong over the last 6 months
Yeah, I come home from work, maybe play a couple of games.
on a cabinet or?
No, I've been playing it on the Nintendo Switch lately. I used to play it on over tabletop.
Yeah.
I was playing it on that, but then once they released the arcade archives for the Switch, it became the first home version of Donkey Kong that was legit.
So what are you doing on the Switch? It's on a controller.
Yeah, I'm using I did buy when I was in Japan. I did buy a arcade controller for the Switch.
Oh, nice one.
Unfortunately, it is an 8-way joystick, and that's not so good for the Donkey Kong.
Did you find you get jammed on the ladder at all? That's what Johnny was saying. You can get stuck on ladders and stuff. Yeah.
So I switched back to the classic controller, not the one that comes with the Switch, but the one you buy separately.
Yeah.
And I find, as long as you remember, it's a controller, it's not a joystick, and you put the effort in to make sure all your directions are true, it's a good way to do it.
But how does that affect you here today? Like, there's a very different muscle behaviour to doing this to a.
Oh well, because I play also on my tabletop at home, 4-way joystick.
Sorry.
But I did find, because I don't have any original Donkey Kong machines to play on back home, I did find that the joystick, the 4-way directional stuff is very stiff. You can't do any diagonals. It's up, down, left, or right. Whereas at home on my tabletop, you can move it diagonally. It doesn't register, but you can move it. So it took a little while.
Well, that's on your table. Well, that's because it must be an 8. If you look inside the 8-way,
It's a resistor. Restrictor, that's it. Yeah.
So where are you in Melbourne?
Where am I?
Are you in a city somewhere? Or?
I'm in the suburbs, close to the city.
Oh.
I'm at a place called Kingsville near Yarraville. Nobody knows where that is. So.
I'm in Melbourne. I'm in Hawthorne.
Oh, okay. Well, I know where Hawthorne is.
Yeah. Well, they've got a football name,
Yeah. Well, near the Western Bulldogs Oval.
Is that? Am I near the? Oh, you are. Or,
Yeah, me.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm not
No,
near the
you're
Western.
nowhere near that.
What are you talking about? So do you go into Bartronica or?
I've been known to drop down. Once I found out that Pixel Alley existed and they had a Donkey Kong machine, I went in there to set the record.
All right.
I know they reset it every now and then, but I went in, I saw what the record was, I went, I'm all right, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
Set the record, went away, came back a couple of weeks later, someone had beaten it. So I beat it again.
Game on.
And I was just told by another gentleman here that my record's still there and it's been there for a good 6 months or so. I haven't been there.
So what was the score then?
It wasn't that good, mate. It was maybe 320 or something.
Oh, it's a lot better than, certainly a lot better than most. So what's your personal best then?
566.
Oh, right, yeah.
So I did that at home on my tabletop. On the Switch, it's 460 something or something. I was lucky.
Yeah.
I'm not as good as some of these guys here that you've got it flown in from the US and New
You've been playing it
Zealand.
for 6 months as well.
I know, but they're in a whole league of their own. What I will say is that 6 months I've gotten to this point where I can fly up here and see from other people, learn a little bit. I just died a moment ago. One of the guys leaned over and said, you wouldn't have died if you just jumped, because I ran out of time.
Oh, okay.
And he said, the timer can't kill you if you're in the air.
Oh, okay.
And literally, I was 1 pixel away from the end. And he said, had you jumped, you could have kept going.
Who was that? Who told you that?
That was Ethan
Ethan.
Daniels.
Yeah, well, he's a reliable source, I'd imagine.
And I think he purposefully didn't tell me.
Nah, he wouldn't have. Nah, he wouldn't. He probably didn't want to interfere.
Nah, he's a real nice guy.
Yeah, no, Ethan. He'd certainly know. He knows. Like having spoken to him a bit today and last night, he certainly knows the ins and outs of Donkey Kong.
That's great.
So what are you gonna? But you're gonna keep playing. You're gonna try and hit a kill screen. That's your next goal.
That's my goal is a kill screen. I don't think I'll ever be, Wes Copeland or anyone like that. But I think that requires a certain level of commitment that perhaps. Work and family life doesn't easily. Although Hank did it, and he was a doctor, so.
Yeah. I think that's the urge. I always refer to it as an urge. It's one thing to have all the ability and the time, but if the urge isn't there, we're not going to get anything done. Do you know what I mean? You're just not going to play.
The urge is for a kill screen. Once I get to the kill screen, if I find I'm in the position where I can do that kill screen pretty often, then it may be points pressing.
Point game.
And I would like to be back here next year to do this.
Yeah, all right.
If my wife doesn't kill me.
So she does.
She's here.
She's here.
She's not here right now. She was here earlier with my son.
Oh, okay.
They both came, and my son was jumping in the background, going, "Go, Daddy," which was really nice.
Oh, nice one.
So if he ever watches this, hi Noah, I love you. My boss was watching before, so hi anyone at work who's watching. I think my family's very supportive of these things, and I'm very lucky. And I recommend anyone who has some free time pick up the Donkey Kong.
Pick up Donkey Kong. It does seem to be those hurdles are first, get to a start and make it to level 5, and then next is talking about. Then the next sort of thing is I want to get a kill screen. There'll be point brackets in between there, just personal ones like 250k,
exactly.
or do get 500k. Those are the obvious ones. But then get to a kill screen. Then after that, it's I want to get 1,000,000 points. And that's where the addiction either kicks in or the habit gets kicked out. Like, do I want to go to 1.1 or 1.2 and 1.
I find it very hard to believe I would ever reach that point, but you can quote me on that if my opinion changes.
I reckon. I don't know. Like, I'm not. But just talking to players, like Ethan was saying today, like applied knowledge of the game and just practice. People hit a kill screen in around, sort of 6 months.
I'm not there yet. But
No. But he was sort of saying, but he said also, like, it took him about 4 to 6 months. He said something like that. But then there are people who really just go for it and do it in 3 to 4 weeks.
Oh yeah. Some people have a natural ability to it. With this game, with the randomness to it, it's sometimes frustrating. You can sit down and you can play a game, and you'll do your personal best first shot. You'll sit down and play a second game, and you'll get a very miserable score. And it can be frustrating and demoralising. There has been, I was watching, you've got a gentleman here, I'm not sure what his name is, might be Shane. He was sitting at the cabinet. I've watched him stream online, and he gets very animate. He gets, there's certain language he uses quite often.
No, that's Alan's story.
Oh, that's Alan, yes.
Big guy.
Yes. Lovely guy, and in person he's the sweetest guy ever, but you watch those streams and you think that guy is ready to put his fist through the machine.
Oh, he has done. He's broken a knuckle hitting the machine so hard, I think he said.
There you go. I don't have that problem. I have been known to swear at Donkey Kong on occasion, but he deserved it every single time.
I think for someone like yourself, it is really just a matter of how much time you want to put in. You clearly, Have they corrected your score yet? No, it hasn't been fixed yet.
All right, I'm sure it'll turn up there.
Oh, it'll get done. It'll get done.
Yeah, you got work. I'm doing university study at the moment, and you got your family life. So trying to find the time to put hour chunks in for Donkey Kong. It's hard.
Which one do you want? Yeah, I think that's the biggest problem with some of these games. Like Donkey Kong's an obvious one. Is there are other games where you can get a lot of practice in just by playing a short game.
Yeah,
but here, unless you get to that, because the game, from my knowledge of it, the springs start to move quicker, the fireballs become more aggressive. So playing up to a start is not really practicing anything. I mean, practicing getting to there, but then there's this whole other game beyond that. So to play a full game would take. Well, how long were you playing them for?
Depending on how well you're doing, and if you're point pressing, it makes a big difference as well. So that's why I stopped point pressing, because I found that I'd spend a lot more time on the earlier levels and not get as far. So I felt like I wasn't getting as much practice with the different boards. But I find that you know how you've got your levels, so you've got your springs, you've got your rivets and whatnot, and they change over the first couple of levels. So the first level is 2 boards, and then the second level is 3 boards, so they get longer each time. But once you get to level 4, that's where it seems the barrier is for most people. That's when the springs are moving so fast that you actually have to retreat if there's no leeway. And I think that's the barrier most people get to. They get to those springs and they get killed. And they go, this game is trash. And they're wrong. But definitely, you also reach brackets, like I'm looking at the scores that people get, and most of the people here have competed sitting in the 2000s, the top 16. When I first started playing, I was getting like 86,000. And then I was getting 150-ish. And then it was 200s, and then it was 300s, and now it's 400s, occasional 5, personal best is in the 5. So I was talking to someone else earlier, and he said, look, if you get in the 500s, a kill screen is possible. So when I was just playing before, I got 300-something thousand on one life. So theoretically, if you could get 300,000 on each life, you're at a kill screen. But it's easier said than done.
Yeah, I think Donkey Kong's one of those. It certainly has its haters, like genuine haters who just can't stand the game and want to see it disappear forever.
I can understand that.
I think it's partly. I think there's various reasons. One is there's something that probably just aren't good at it and they hate it. That's the most that's the most cynical answer, but that would be one. But another one, I think, people just feel it sort of dominates the arcade culture so much when there's so many other good games out there and we don't seem to get enough exposure,
That's understandable. It has the history. So, if you go back to when Donkey Kong came out, which I think was around, I'm just going to make this up, all right, 1981 or
81.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, the quality of those games at the time, they were good, but Donkey Kong was different, So I think when you had people competing in Missile Command and Donkey Kong and Pac-Man and stuff like that, like you said, Pac-Man has been perfected. You can't do much, right? Something like this, it hates you. It hates you to its very core. At least that's how I feel sometimes. It can be so random. It's deserving of this, what we're seeing here today. It's deserving of having a Kong Off in America. We're very lucky to have one here. There are other fantastic games, but I feel like they get representation.
You managed to plug it in though for you, Johnny.
2%, that's good enough.
When you bring it back, I'll plug it in. There's other games like, I mean, Donkey Kong all but disappeared through the 90s. Everyone was playing Defender and other things, apparently, in the score. And I'm sure if something big happened.
Plug it in?
Yeah, I'll plug it in for you.
No, that's all right. I think there are a lot of games out there that get decent representation, I should say. Obviously, there was that Nibbler documentary that was out there. That's quite interesting. there are world records being set for everything nowadays. I mean, especially when you think about the speedrunning community that's out there.
Oh, yeah.
When it comes to more modern games, I think speedrunning's where it's at. It's not points. I mean, a lot of games nowadays, they drop points. Arcades nowadays, I know that Raw Thrills is out there putting out new arcade machines, and, some of them are all right. And I appreciate that they're doing it.
Some of the stuff, like, is it 4-2 or the 2, whatever, on Mario, like the speedruns have been working on that for about 15, 16 years.
Yeah.
Like it's quite
insane
amazing.
what people can do.
And it's such a niche culture, it's just going, not under the wrap, but no one's really taking too much notice, like in a bigger, wider sense, but there are people out there who are, it's like this, it's still a niche community, but it's the people, because of the films and stuff, people are a bit more aware of some of it.
And that's what's
And the
important
media
for
that
events
tends to
like this, and for us to be inclusive of people who are just starting out like myself. Everyone here has been so nice. I haven't met a person who's been anything but fantastic. So there's definitely a place for other games that aren't Donkey Kong. But very glad that Netherworld's put this on.
It's great. Glad to be here.
I mean, there's esports communities for Street Fighter and things like that. They're still going strong.
I mean, like an event like this is, its numbers are tiny in comparison to some of the sort of numbers of spectators for current games. And the Street Fighter one's still very strong. There's plenty enough of those tournaments going around. But I think this is one of those things that just grow from year to year, which the Kong-Off has, from year to year.
Yeah, I don't suppose you know anything about these machines here. Were some of these built for the event? Or?
Yeah, they were all built for the event.
All of them?
By David James, he works here and he's built them all and painted and all that. Yeah, they're all, and of course, I'm not sure the name of the person who does the in-house designs, but they're all designed, like the marquees, which say Kong-Off 2 are all done in-house, Yeah.
They've done a fantastic job.
Yeah, you should. I think I had a feeling they might even, I'm not sure if they're selling them or not now. I could be confused by that, but maybe they'll probably just hang on to them for the next Kong-Off.
That's probably a good idea, but on the record, if anyone is selling one...
Yeah, there you go.
Cheap.
cheap.
So I don't get killed.
Well, I mean, I know that James is, David James built these, and I don't think it would take the greatest carpentry skill. It's just actually getting the tools to do it. The money you might fork out for the tools might be the price of a Donkey Kong cabinet.
I wouldn't let me near tools, I tell you what.
So what are you going to do today? Are you going to put another score up?
I was thinking about it, but I thought, hey, I've dragged my family all the way up to Brisbane. I shouldn't say the Gold Coast, to Brisbane. Maybe I should go see what they're doing and spend some time with them.
Fair enough.
I gave them a call before, and they said they were at the little beach in Brisbane City.
Oh yeah.
So I might go there and check on them, and hopefully I can stay in the top 16 and come back here tomorrow and see some really good gameplay.
So did you say you drove it?
No, sorry, I flew up.
Oh, right.
Did I say I drove up?
Maybe you didn't. I mean, I've been sitting here all day, so I could easily have heard you wrong. Yeah, I was thinking that's a pretty solid time.
Have you been doing this from the start, have you?
Yeah, just before 10 o'clock. Oh, I've wandered off a couple of times, get a drink of water or whatever. So Richie will be pretty keen to try and reclaim his spot where you just pushed him out of.
Oh, I hear he's done a kill screen before, so I can't compete with that. I'm sure.
Yeah, but it's how you play on the day. Well, you're not the only one. There was yourself and who was the other unexpected? It might have been Jay Mack who came in, and so he was in 8th position, so he's got a bit of a climb to do.
Oh yes. They're all respectable scores on there, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, so your score's up there accurately now. So
yeah,
so the top 8, 400,000. So that's where it was last year. The top 8, where the bottom score was 400,000.
Okay, so that seems to be the cut-off, does it?
Well, we don't know. We don't know yet because last year it was just the best 8 went through to tomorrow.
Okay, but 16 is it tomorrow?
Yeah, 16. So therefore, we might see more competition from the bottom end, and someone might get a good game at the bottom end, and all of a sudden creep in and bump you out.
I had bad games all morning, and all it takes is one half decent one, and
so we might not see much happening in the top scores like Ethan and Alan and Johnny Bond and Shane. They might just sit there and no one, but what we might see is a lot of the bottom scores starting to grow bigger. And
Yeah, I
as they
noticed
do,
that.
They might creep up.
There was
as they-
100s in there before, and now they're all starting to bump up.
Yeah, so what I'm thinking is, will 400 say become the lowest score out of 16? Will we see enough players? So you can imagine these well, like Sean, Richie, and Michael Gibby. It's easy to imagine all those guys might be able to reach 400,000.
Yeah.
Because they're certainly in that range.
Anyone on that list has got a good chance of getting 400,000. I think once you get in 200, you know, it's not a great deal to ask to get to 4. But
Well, it is in this game, though, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like, say some people like.
I'm trying to be positive here.
No, but I am too. But I'm just saying, like, how, like, unless we know the players, like we know Richie Knuckles has got a higher score than 3-3. I'm not sure about Michael Q, but I've got a feeling he's got a personal best higher than that. I can't. Whereas Sean, I'm not sure where his personal best is. So that might be a new top score for him, or maybe that's where he normally hits around that score.
Yeah, without knowing their personal best, it makes it difficult. But then again, you could come in here and you could smash a personal best. That's the
That's right. Yeah, like we could see.
I'll let you in on a secret. I came in here and I said, today's the day I'm getting a kill stream.
Really?
Today's not the day I'm getting a kill stream.
Well, like when you were playing then, you felt you might get it? Or you felt even before
When I got 300,000 plus on the One Life, I thought, yeah, this could be it. But you can't think like that. I find that up until about 300,000, I don't care. It's kind of routine, and then once I hit 300,000, I'm suddenly looking at the scoreboard. I kept looking over, and I saw Richie's score there, and so every time I was finishing a board, I was looking over my shoulder, and I'm like, no, don't do this. Just shut up and play.
Yeah, I think that's the big when you talk to a lot of arcade gameplays, like distractions are the real killer. Like, because you only have to be distracted that split second. It's not like you trip a little bit and you can gather your momentum again. If you trip, especially in a game this where
especially in the moment, yeah. There was a guy who came over and pulled something up from off the top of my cabinet while I was on the springs. When I was on the springs, and it was while I was going up the ladder, and thankfully it just all worked out just fine. And afterwards, I'm like, dude, I didn't want to say anything, but Jesus Christ.
I see Andrew Barrows just sat down on the machine over there. Number 1.
Oh, yes. Wow.
He went back to the hotel and had a bit of a rest.
He'll be fine.
Yeah, so he'll
what time are we open till here?
9.
9.
Cut off for
9. I might go check on my family and I may drop back in one more time for one more game.
Yeah, well, definitely. Yeah, because
Just one
I'd like to
question
see you
for
play one more game before they close tonight. That'd be good.
I reckon I can do it.
Definitely.
Let me ask you one more question. So
Remembering
if it's
I'm no expert on this stuff at all, but
it's all right. I reckon you'll know this one.
Yeah.
We've got 16 competitors tomorrow instead of 8.
Yeah.
How will it be 8 at a time going, or will it be 2, like number 1 against number 8 and number 9 against number 16?
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly how the back can go. I imagine they'll take the top players who'll go against the bottom scorers.
Yep.
And so it'll be that middle range where you'll have the sort of even sort of ability. They'll be fighting it out.
Yep.
So I imagine they'll have all 8 machines going at once, and they'll have the camera on particular
Ethan
ones.
and yep.
And I don't know what the ruling is. I imagine if Ethan was playing, I don't know, Greg Pell, and Greg Pell's knocked out, then Ethan would just forfeit the game to keep the momentum going. Do you know what I mean? You wouldn't keep.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah.
Otherwise, it could be here all day. Well, I suppose there would be a chance to play it out, but I suppose they can keep playing until the last person finishes. So, but I suppose if someone had a really good game
Someone
going,
had a good game going, you'd probably let them go. It's not that long. I know.
we got enough time to do it.
All right. Well, I better run. I apologise.
No.
Great to chat.
Yeah, thanks. Is that your phone?
That is not my phone.
Is that?
Check if I've got my phone.
Yeah, well, definitely. It'd be good to see you play again. You and John Bush were very entertaining to watch.
Thank you very much.
Also because we didn't know who you were, so that makes it exciting.
Well, I didn't know who anyone was. So
There might be an upset.
that makes it exciting, lads. So, thank you very much for your time. Cheers. I'll leave that to you.
Sorry about that. I just need to have some sugar. And Andrew Barrow's just got onto a machine, so I might see if I can get that switched across. And I'll be back shortly.
Hey mates. Hey-yo, hey-yo. I'm gonna go back to see if I can get Barrow's game on, which is the direct feed one, so we'll see how we go. Alright. We'll see how we go. We'll probably get a little bit out of it. Alright, so we're back to Barra. I think. No, that's frozen. Alright, hang on. There we go. Oh, yuck. No, we'll give it a little bit of time. I'll just sit here for a bit. Oh, yuck. Oh, man. If we disappear, it's because this setup crashes the computer. Or do we just run it, go the gauntlet and see how long we can hold out for? It's not very pleasant to look at though, let's be honest. So for the direct feed, we've run a 7-prong cable that's welded into a harness off the PCB and the chassis that then runs into a SCART to JAMA board, and then I've got a SCART to SCART cable into an OSSC, an open source converter, and the open source converter goes from a HDMI to through a cam link into the computer. So a stack is definitely the right word. It's an ugly stack. We've learned a lot in the last few days. We'll probably get away with just using a VGA cable next time. For example, I mean the tutorials that I watched were from Doc Mac and whatnot. He'd never actually done it with a Nintendo cab before. Turns out Nintendo cabs are a lot harder to do this with. I mean, we set up the point blank machine in like 2 minutes, and we've spent 2 days trying to set up these Nintendo ones, and it's not, so going forward, Adam's going to set up all of our home cabs with a VGA out the back. And then I can just go from the VGA into my OSSC. So I don't need the JAMA to SCART. I just need VGA into the open source converter and cam link to the computer. No. But yeah, this is getting ugly. Probably, just the glitching on the
direct feed.
Yeah. But it. Does look great.
Oh, it looks
Such a shame.
Fantastic. I imagine it's one of those things that can be improved on. It's
Yeah,
just
that's the
not
thing.
really
We've learned so much in the last week. We'll learn from it. And setting up the point blank's going to be easy. The nibbler's going to be easy. So it's just unfortunately the Nintendo cabs are a lot harder than any other.
Why is that? What is it? Just
We're not really sure, to be honest.
you still wire them the same, just things
Don't seem to work very well at all.
It's because they're old bloody boards, aren't they? It's interesting watching some of these high players like Barrow, just what they do.
Please stop. Nintendo games are just harder. Like I contacted Doc Mack and he'd never attempted it on a Nintendo. He said he was going to have a crack, but I didn't hear back from him. We did do a short video before the day started where I did the control panels and the boards. Barra. So to even get the picture as close as we've got it, Adam had to make a...
I'm going to get some eat.
Yeah, man. Yeah. He had to make a sink cleaner board. We showed a short video of it in the first thing I did about 7:30 this morning. And the sink cleaner, he had to put 2 pots on it so that he could adjust the sink on the feed coming to the computer without it affecting, the sink on the monitor in the cab and vice versa, so you could adjust them either way. The inverted isn't that big a deal. It's just doesn't hold sync. It comes to the computer, it comes into the OSSC, you get this beautiful green light for a pretty long period, and then it just starts dropping out. To be honest, if I could get into the back of the cab and adjust the pot up a tiny bit, it would probably settle, but there's just no space to do that here. In a bigger space, in a bigger warehouse, maybe you could have the backs available for this sort of stuff, and it'd be... Or we could have made the sink cleaner boards on a longer cable, so they'll sit at the front of the cab. That's still, you're still got to try and do all of that while someone's in the middle of a game. So, oh man, thanks to him. I'll have to tell Adam that, man. Adam's our tech. Adam, he hates to be defeated in any way. He worked his butt off over the last few days to get it this close. I know actually some people don't actually like the direct feed and prefer the camera, but my whole plan, the idea was to get the 8 cabs on the direct feed with 8 harnesses up at the table here, and the OSSC open source converter is sharp enough and quick enough that I can just whip between cabs, which I did a little bit yesterday mucking around, so I can literally just pull it out, the computer drops, slap it back in, and I'm onto I can move from cab to cab in seconds. But that's fine if you've got access to the sink cleaner, which I don't at the minute. So we'll probably give it another go in the morning, and worst case, we're just going to have to pick. We're probably going to be doing that anyway. When each round starts for finals, we'll just pick a pair that we're going to watch, and then please, Mr. Bond.
Can I join you?
Yeah, of course.
I was just after my phone. I'll sit down. I don't even know where it is.
But yeah, just looking at some of the... I guess one of the interesting matchups is if Kai drops 2 more spots, he'll be against Alan. That will be some show.
They would have found Alan forever if he lost that match. He would have no mercy on his son in that round, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's true, right?
Yeah, but the pressure would be on. So.
Yeah.
Oh man. But it's so close, the last field here.
Yeah.
I'm impressed about it. Sean, he went from
the game of his
175
life.
to
Yeah.
unreal.
Yeah. He said he was felt lightheaded. He could
Yeah.
barely walk afterwards.
No,
We got such
after
a buzz.
My game, I was just like,
Yeah.
still shaking. Like, I was feeling fine when I was playing, but afterwards, it's just you're on such a high.
Yeah. Oh, that's what
Oh, it's the best feeling.
these weekends are all about.
Yeah, you can't get that anywhere else. Like,
The Ultimates! The OG, there'll only ever be the one original Ultimate.
yep. And I like my painting. It's just a little bit bigger. No, I don't know. Did they do that on purpose?
Of course, of course.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So they're gonna get smaller.
They'll just go
and
smaller, yeah. By the end of the 15 years, it'll just be this tiny thing in the corner.
I'll have to get back here next year, and then so we can change place each time. Like then
Yeah.
I beat it, and then he goes back. I'm just gonna.
We'll have to do in like 10 years, get all of the Ultimates back for Ultimate v Ultimate.
Oh, that'll be sick. That'll
Oh,
be
yeah.
insane. That's gotta be like reunion. And
Yeah, that'll be
at
like
the
our
same
10-year
time.
birthday, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll do that.
Insane.
Alright guys, if this sync's getting a bit too hard to watch, just let me know. How's Luke, can you tell me what score Richie's on?
Who's Kong Club? That must be Jacob. Jacob Ashley.
Oh yeah?
He's mate.
So Richie's on about
140,000.
Richie's on 140. Oh, I just lost a life. We could always pop to Richie or Aaron on cab 5, 6.
I really hope the best for that bloke.
Which one?
I really hope the best that he fucking gets in there.
Yeah.
He knew he would turn.
Yeah.
I loved it. That would.
Nice. I just don't have enough experience in that board because I get there so
Yeah.
seldom.
You don't want to be a pie kicker and just that hurts.
Yeah. So I only either I'd forgotten from last year, but I have learnt again this year that you can drive boards on the ladder and while you're jumping.
Yeah.
So I was watching you before and I
Mid-air.
was like, did I forget
So
that?
good
Or-
in mid-air when you just jump
yeah.
and just steer it down.
Yeah.
Bomb
Baby.
every time. I'm the boss. Like,
Oh man, when you
Bring it.
first learn steering, it is
it's
a little bit.
a whole new game. It
Yeah.
opens up like, oh,
Yeah.
so that's why people are good at it.
Yeah.
No, it's just you go from let's say 50,000 to
Yeah.
20.
Yeah.
Just overnight.
Yeah. Richie's lost another life there on cab 4.
He's looking really good in the tournament so far.
Yeah.
We just need to see a kill screen. I'm so glad Barry's playing right now.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's just going to be exciting.
Do you pick, so when you're running from here to here, is there a spring that you should
You
pick?
want a spring that's just so far.
A
to
short
this-
one?
Yeah.
So
really.
the shortest one?
So you can already move to right here, just
Yeah,
a picture
okay.
before the ladder.
That's something I didn't know. Okay.
Yeah. And then you're just going to wait for that one
Yeah.
that lines up the yellow
Yeah.
just between his legs.
Yeah. Creech, I'm with you, mate. That could disappear at any time, I'm sorry to say. I mean, it's pretty thin over there. I could always move the webcam over to Barra. This is why I wanted the direct feed, so that if I wanted to change camera, I could just do a plug here instead of being like, oh, excuse me, do you mind, excuse
Yeah,
me.
no, so
And then by moving the camera, you're putting extra pressure on the person too.
Oh,
Like,
exactly.
oh, excuse me, I'm just going to put this on here because you're
Yeah.
about to get a kill screen. And
Oh,
the guy's
man,
like,
nah, that would jinx you. You don't want to be that guy.
I know, right?
Get someone
That's
else
what I
to
mean.
do it.
Yeah. We get Tyson dressed up in the Mario
Yeah,
outfit
do
to
that
move
so
cameras.
no one knows who it is. You cannot blame anyone.
Fucking Jumpman again.
Yeah, I know. I missed out on that. He needs to dress up again.
Yeah, okay. Get him really good.
Oh, Carrie says hi. Carrie.
Hey, Kerry. He got pretty close. I think he was up to level 19 or something, Ethan.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Nah, 20.
Oh, I got it to 20.
26.
Okay. Damn. I'm not sure we'll see one today. There's not a lot of motivation. Like, obviously, Ethan doesn't need to play again. Alan probably doesn't. Barra's what we want.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, he got it, dude.
Yeah.
do a kill screen here at least every year, one time a year.
That'd be pretty rad if he's the only person that does it every year.
Yeah.
That'd be sweet.
But Barrett's score would have been wiped because Ethan, he had 40, at least 40.
What's our house high score? Is it 880?
881, I think.
Okay, so man, Barrett will be happy he held on to that so far.
Oh my God, Kerry, she's going to be here at Kong of Breeze.
Yeah, well,
Nice.
Kerry, I've been talking about maybe moving it to August next year.
All right.
Maybe. I'll make a decision in the next couple of weeks.
Well, that's just around the corner almost.
Yeah, right.
It's not. But I feel like this year it went so fast this year.
Yeah.
Man, even though it's been a tough year, I feel like it just went.
Yeah, I reckon.
Yeah, after that game, I really felt like I have a kill screen in me.
Yeah.
Someone needs to kill screen today.
So that someone has to
So,
today.
yeah,
It won't be.
I'll definitely
Won't be Kong off with that one.
get a few more games in before I get too pissed.
Cheers. Cheers. Yeah, so I've been. There's like the Royal Show, which is around the corner from here. It's in the showgrounds, like hundreds of thousands of people go. And I've been offered like 350 square meters to do whatever I want in for 10 days. So, you know, my huge pinball tournament that I run, I'm moving that inside the Ekka. It's called Ekka, but it's the Royal Show of Brisbane. I could move. There's room for 50 pinball machines, but there's also room for this, plus a Classics arcade tournament.
But then again, don't you just want the Kong of to be here in
Yeah, but I mean, like the exposure we would
Depending
get there,
on-
you're
okay.
talking like hundreds of thousands of people seeing what we're doing.
I get that then.
Like the exposure for competitive pinball and for this would be unbelievable. It'd be huge.
I just we drove past Pinhouse the other day. It's just around the corner. It's
Yeah.
just unreal. Like
Yeah. Get a fantail in your mouth. It's pretty hard to commentate with one in your mouth, but good for working.
Phil told me to get one. I'm just like,
If anything,
talking
it,
to cheap, right?
it gives you material, Jimmy.
True. What do you got something there, mate? You got a pop quiz?
Born in Louisiana, Kentucky, on August 15, 1990. Her career began when she spent summer in Manhattan when she was 14.
Lady Gaga.
It is hard to
Yeah.
talk. It just bored makes your mouth
You know the hat piece.
Just gonna dribble down your chin, just like
Pretty much.
chocolate dribble.
And no for Lady Gaga.
Yeah. The other one, Tay Tay. No, what's her name?
Oh, the
Taylor
boy,
Swift.
Calm down.
Whatever.
You're one of those guys that like gets halfway through the question and just like jumps in.
Yeah, but yeah, Brisbane Masters next year is going to be at Ekka.
That's why I love the beers here when you pop the bottle cap off and there's like a fact or
Yeah, a little
or a
quiz.
question. Yeah. It actually makes you smarter drinking beers all of a sudden.
As if
It's
it
a
doesn't
great
already.
idea. We don't have that in Denmark, and I even did a fucking huge email to Carlsberg, like the
Oh,
main
really?
brewery in Denmark,
Yeah.
about you need to do this because
Yeah.
that would make me buy even more Carlsberg. And I'm already buying a
I'm
shit.
sure,
load,
yeah.
but I never got a response. It's really shit. But I was really drunk that night, so they would be like, "Who
Yeah.
the fuck is this guy?" Just delete.
Yeah, can I have a filter IPA, please? I don't know if you guys know, but next weekend is the Point Blank Battle of the Century is happening here at Netherworld. So Tyson, our bar manager, was the world record holder for a few months, and Jackson from Melbourne took it off him. So there's been a nice little friendly rivalry happening. How did Barra know he was going to throw a wide?
Yeah, and he's going all the way back. That's
How did he know that he was going to
Imagine
throw that
caught
wide?
yeah, no.
Like, was it the way that his leg moved or the...
We always say, "Watch the monkey." Watch
Yeah, I
the monkey.
know.
So we never want to run underneath him, and he was all the way over here, so he knew it was
he
coming.
picked it here and started running.
Yeah, that was insane.
Oh, wow, man.
You can't even explain that, but he just
yeah.
knows.
Yeah.
I'm not on his level at all, so
Yeah.
I can't even. But that was fucking. I just love that. You gotta watch out. That flame is gonna.
But yeah, so Jackson is flying up from Melbourne next weekend. We're going to stream from 10 a.m. on next Saturday, and they're going to go for... They're both going to try and break the world record for like 6 hours. And then at 4 o'clock, they're having a best of 7 battle.
Nice.
So I think I'm going to do the format is going to be, it's not going to be score based, it's going to be who wins the most, what do you call them in point blank, scenes or?
Yeah, scenes.
What are
So you're gonna do beginners, medium, or hard?
No, medium,
Yep.
best of 7, because if you include the last scene with the targets on the castle, that's 17, so there's
All right.
17, Tyson will know. Tyson, we're talking about point blank, what do you call them scenes or modes? There's 17 modes? What do you call them?
Well, like what part?
Level like this.
No, like when you pick a...
Oh, pick a mode. Yeah,
A mode,
yeah,
we call it a mode.
Difficulty mode.
Yeah.
And never pick training, because training's only ever 4
Yeah,
stages.
yeah.
So you got to pick up the least to begin on.
Alright.
Because that's just worth your dollar.
Yeah. So I think we're just going to do mode-based, not score if they tie, because you can draw, like for example, if they draw the Leaf stage or the Alien stage, only one of them can win, or they could both miss. There's also some good stages where they can sabotage each other, like the one where you're hanging from the rope. You can just shoot each other and make them fall.
That's so cool.
So when that happens, it's basically going to be a race to see who can kill the other person first. That's going to be awesome.
Alright, that's gonna be
Yeah.
intense then. There's actually a few stages where you can fuck each other up.
Yeah, that's the sabotaging and the attacking each other. I think is going to be the best part.
It's like playing Mario Bros. or playing where you can either play together or fuck each other up.
Yeah, I got you. All right, thank you, Sockmaster.
That's the guy who came up with the remix, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the guy who called Billy out on the cheating.
Is that right?
Yeah.
What's up, dog? What's up, man? Well, yeah, I that makes a lot of sense then. If that's so, he was probably this side of that ladder, so that's why the barrel is going to go wide. If you're that side of the barrel, maybe it goes somewhere else. Of the ladder, maybe it goes somewhere else.
It's just programmed into him now. He doesn't even
Yeah, he doesn't even think about
know,
it.
or it's just how it is. Fuck,
Yeah.
it's well spotted again. Just go straight down. Now he's. You know he's going to change now direction. Fuck, that's good.
Yeah. Sorry, Duke. It's there's not much I can do about it. I wanted to leave it on because we all want him to get a kill screen, but yeah, I'm sorry. The jumpy part I can't do much about, I'm afraid. Yeah. The direct feed was a bit, not a gamble, but we've been working pretty hard. It's kind of, I'm not sure anyone's tried direct feed on a Nintendo before. It works for an hour or two, and then it just tends to get a little bit out of sync. There is a sync board that we created in the back of the cab. If I could get access to that board, I would be able to clean this up, but that's the problem with someone being in the middle of a
Really fucking bad.
of a really good game. I can't really get in the back of the machine.
Most of it's patterns, and you got to be able to freestyle.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, nice. This is the top score. It's not the top score in the arcade. What the fuck is shit? So shit.
How'd you go?
When you read one, you have to read out facts.
Fantail, commiseration, Fantail.
Everyone loves the fucking fan.
Oh, mate. Who am I? Here we go. Who am I? Born in Melbourne in 1968, he began her career as a child actress, starring in the Australian television series Neighbours in 1985.
No clue.
Mate,
I'm from Denmark. You should know this, Jimmy.
I should have. I've watched Neighbours since I was about 11. But isn't Neighbours really famous in Europe?
Nah.
In UK.
Yeah.
Oh, good, man. Thank you, Sockmaster. Well, I've got, yeah. I'm going to try and clean up the direct feed in the morning. But I do have camera. I got webcams on a few machines as well. Yeah, man, we've got marquees for sale, t-shirts for sale, posters for sale, 2 posters. Oh, Barra. Marquees. I got marquees from Australian Kong Off 1 and 2 for sale. They're 50 each. Yeah, Barra better get a kill screen. He has.
He just beat his own record.
Yeah. He has improved his score at least, so he's jumped up to 6th. Which means he'll be playing John McNeil.
Yes. Oh my God, John.
I think, is that right? No, wait. No, it'd be Richie. Sorry, it'd be Richie. Oh, no, wait.
6th, and then.
No, it'd be Richie.
Yeah. But who knows? Everything
But
can
yeah,
happen.
it's definitely going to change this
It
tonight.
just needs to be either.
Like Rob McCauley's here. Rob hasn't put a score in yet.
I haven't.
Well, he has, but not a good one.
I'm not happy with it.
I'd expect Rob to get up there.
Oh, yeah.
Have there been any other big scores, or is that up to date?
No, that's up to date. Yeah.
No, keep saying that Kai needs to come in.
Thank
at
you, Strain.
15.
Mr. G Strain.
Everyone has been talking about it.
No, everyone's got to drop Kai stall down to 15.
Yeah.
So you have a stall versus stall in round one.
Insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be well.
that'd be
Stoll
better than
versus
Brian
Stoll
Alvarez.
and Barra
So
versus John McNeil.
Chris Jennings
What a
and
day.
Greg.
That would be, oh my god.
Yeah, so
I can die happy then.
yeah, so we need to get onto Chris and Greg. They both need to get more than 235,000.
Yeah. No, like John McNeil's been talking shit for over a year now.
Yeah. Oh, Barra. Yeah. My money is on Barra never losing a Commonwealth again after that loss.
Yeah.
I reckon he'll win tomorrow.
He learned from his mistake at Score Wars.
Yeah.
I'll just do it like, walk away and then go back to the machine and kill them all. Just pretend I just died, game over, and then just...
Who did that?
Score Wars, didn't you see it? Barra went head to head. This guy, he just walks away from the machine and Barra just shakes his hand like, oh, I just won. And then Barra loses 2 lives and then just walks right back to the machine and keeps playing. And Barra's just like, are you fucking kidding me? What? He did that earlier. He lost a life and then did like this, oh fuck. And then he went in front of Barra's machine and Barra lost a life.
Whoa, wow, I
But
didn't
then-
see any of that.
Then he fucking died, walked away. And
Then he
Barra
can't
thought,
come.
fuck, I won. So Barra loses 2 lives. And then
Okay.
this guy runs back to the machine and keeps playing. Barra's like, what the fuck are you doing, mate? And then Barra's on his last man. And I'm like,
What is it? Hang on.
Of course, the guy who run the thing, they would say you're disqualified, but it was just intense in the moment where we were just like, fuck, Barra's gonna lose now.
Yeah.
This guy just ran back to the machine. It was unreal.
Wow.
And that was fucking intense.
So was that a deliberate ploy? Is that?
No, I think he was just like,
Just a
fuck
mistake.
this. Like, yeah, you want it. Then shake his hand. Then he was like, fuck, I might actually be able to do it. And he just ran back and kept playing.
Who was it?
What's his name? The guy who was
DK.
Oh, Laidlaw.
Yeah. Yeah, that's unreal.
Is that being a mistake, letting me see that these are here?
You just want to take a seat, mate, and we could all just watch you eat fantails for 2 hours if you want.
Yeah,
How many do you reckon you can get in your mouth?
We need to read.
That's gonna be easy.
You
That's
get
gonna
10
be
in
way
your
too
mouth.
easy. Like,
I'm sure the stream would love to watch you.
I could. Oh man, have you seen some of the, have you seen them get me to do like a whole burger bun or
No.
something like that, or like a whole bowl of chips? The whole bowl of chips is like painful to watch. It's pretty much just like, I don't know, 10 minutes of like my cheek just out like a squirrel.
Can we do that right now?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, if when the stream...
Let's get this man
I'd
a
like to do an eating challenge.
If the stream closes down and gets real quiet later, you're on
Let's
for a
get
bowl
this
of
man a
chips.
bowl of chips.
Yeah, we will, chips. He might be able to see a live like execution. Basically. Like I'm
Just
either
a
gonna
snuff becomes
I'm
a
either
snuff
gonna survive
now.
it or completely stalk it. Fuck up
Jesus,
and stalk
dude.
it.
I don't care, just want to see it.
Yeah, he just wants to do it.
Far out.
You know, I was seeing wrestling like yeah, that's all what we all do.
What are the odds here, mates? You reckon Barra can still do it?
The sweet.
What's he got? 10 more levels. 1 live. Pinball at the zoo. What up? How you doing, man? Thanks for joining us, dude. So we've been going since 9 a.m. It's nearly 5. So far out. Far out. It's nearly 5. So today's flying. So there's only 4 hours left to qualifying. Heck yeah, Creech. Apologies for the glitchiness of this camera or this direct feed. Again, I might.
It's pretty good.
It does have the potential to crash the computer, but hopefully it doesn't do that. It hasn't done that for a couple of hours. So it's only done it once today.
Sparrow's riding a last life pretty hard at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah. He wants
He's
to
beaten
kill
his
soon.
previous score.
So he's nearly going to push up to 5th. If he gets this board, he'll be up to 5th.
Yeah, wow.
Which means he'll be playing tomorrow. Then he'll be playing John McNeil.
Oh, okay, there's his... Oh, no!
Oh, man, that was the board.
Barrow, no!
What is that? 4,668. 4,668 800.
Yeah, good for 6th.
So So that puts Barra.
Good game, Barra.
Well done, Barra.
Who's J Matt?
So fell for.
Yeah, kid from Melbourne in the singlet thing. Yeah. Good go, GG, Barra. GG. All right,
Yeah,
let's.
run, Jimmy.
I haven't had a game yet.
There's a couple of free cabs.
There's a couple of free cabs. Let's get rid of this direct feed. I'll just go to studio mode, mates. See if I can clean this up a bit. Okay, who's on 5?